What is up, internet? I apologize for my lateness. Murphy's Law, what can go wrong will go wrong, but we're here. The episode is live. How's everybody doing? Miriam, I see ya with the question marks. I know it's been a thing. How are ya? Let's switch over here to our board so we can keep track of what's going on with all the different alliances and things like that. Some of which I have to change. I didn't even get a chance to do that earlier. Like I said, it's been a mess today. But how is everybody doing right now? We're just trying to get some catching up here, where they're talking about Tiffany and Hannah and their kind of final two deal, which is morphed into more of a thing. But is it really a thing? I don't know. I think it might be a lot of Tiffany misting right now. Tiffany is out for Tiffany and Tiffany alone, which I love. I absolutely love. We can kill some of this music as well. We don't need that anymore. But what we can do is give you guys a little bit of a sync up so you know what's going on. They're talking about the Kai and the Sarah Beth alliance. So this is the big thing, is going into this week, it's going to be really important who gets HOH, which is why it being an endurance comp is the perfect time. It's the perfect time for an endurance comp because this week's HOH is so important. They're right now talking about Kai and Sarah Beth's kind of final two deal that they have going on, which they're very close friends, but a riff is starting to form. Hermit, I see you. Yes, I'm back. I missed the past 2 weeks, and then I was late today, but we are back. We're in it. We're here for the episode. So there's kind of three things going on right now. Kai and Sarah Beth, Tiffany and Hannah, and there's also Kai, Tiffany, and the cookout, right? Even if you see on my little board here, I have the things about like the final twos and which ones are real. This is all changed this week. All of it has changed. Who knows what's real anymore? Kai's not even sure if he thinks the cookout is real. He feels like he could be getting blindsided with this. Things are going to get messy this week, and I'm excited for it. So now they have Tiffany talking about the cookout and what's going on. They're actually playing out chessboard here on like what they need for different things. Trying to figure out the jury. We'll see. This is kind of a new thing for Tiffany because for a while there, she was with Claire and her final two. But she's kind of switched up on that, and she's not really beholden to Claire anymore. It was the only other final two that she had a name for other than the connect with Kai. They're kind of talking about like who has what and the different things that have been going on. Thank you. This is awesome for the West Coast fans. Absolutely, P Cola Spike. Are you a big Pepsi Cola fan? Is that what the P Cola is for? But how are you out on the West Coast? We're here with the episode, and right after the episode is the endurance comp, which we are staying live all the way through until we know who the HOH is. So Tiffany actually wants to set up Claire and put her on the block. Brooke says, if Britt gets HOH tonight, it will be a very interesting week. I'm here for it. It will be. Britt, I think... Britt would be an interesting one. because she would get manipulated, I think, by Azah, and in turn, Azah is being played by Tiffany. So it would almost be like a surrogate HOH for Tiffany if Britt were to win it. I feel like the most interesting HOH might be Sarah Beth, but I don't know. So they're pretty much lining up all their pieces on trying to make sure a member of the cookout not only wins the game, but systematically they get rid of everybody else. And we're heading into our first commercial break of the evening. They're doing the wave. They're doing the wave on the couches. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. And in fact, let's do this. Let's switch over while we are in our commercial break here. Let's switch over to our full screen here, right? So, again, I put this out, and a lot of the final two deals have actually changed. It's not exactly that way anymore, where the top row are the true number ones. Because this week, Tiffany has really changed and not been on the side of dealing with Claire. She's turned to her true number one. To be honest with you, I think her actual true number one, who she would like to sit next to at the final two, would be Hannah. But I feel like the person she's working with the most is actually... I feel like she wants to work with Kai, but get rid of Kai, if that makes sense, right? Like, she's in the position where she wants to use everything to her advantage to get to the end, which is fantastic. I'm totally for this, right? Like, I understand Tiffany's got to do what she's got to do, but it's going to be very interesting to see how this week goes, because I don't think she wants to win HOH. Claire will probably not want to win HOH because she's already got safety. Though a Claire HOH would be pretty good. Because one of the things was Tiffany was setting up the motions for Sarah Beth to be the target this week. She doesn't like the connection that Kai and Sarah Beth have. She would like to break that up as soon as possible because she's worried about it. She thinks that Kai would maybe side with Sarah Beth, right? And Sarah Beth is smart enough to catch on to the cookout, which Derek X, Sarah Beth, and Tiffany have all started to kind of realize what's going on. So it's going to be interesting, this HOH. Brooke says, I think she'll feel comfortable with Kai once Sarah Beth is gone because she knows how close they are. And yes, Hannah is her final two. She said it to the camera herself. Exactly, yeah. Because I think she feels like of everyone in the cookout, she might have the best chance to win against Hannah. And I think that's her mindset with it. Which I probably would agree with. She maybe would have a little bit more difficult of time against Azah just because of the connection with Derek F. Azah and Derek F has a bit of a closer relationship. But we're headed back to the episode here. I'll give you guys a little bit of a sync up.
Teach me that little walk you do?
Oh.
The video game walk?
Everyone's out here trying to learn to walk. Look, it's just a simple welcome to boo boo to the boo boo to here.
So just left,
Derek
right.
F's doing some kind of walk.
This walk.
Some kind of walk here. Let's switch over. Very, very hippie. Very hippie walk that we got going on with DF. And apparently Christian wants to know the walk. He wants to learn it. Christian's giving me Weekend at Bernie vibes right now. He's giving me definitely Weekend at Bernie vibes where he's like... is Christian right now. Doing the walk. Oh boy. Oh boy. Everybody's just making fun of Christian right now for his attempt at this walk. Oh, Xavier just called him Salt Bay, and you know what? He actually does look a lot like Salt Bay right now. Oh, Xavier. Xavier's got the walk down pretty good. Everyone's really concerned on why it's so unnatural for Christian to do that walk. Ooh, Tiffany and Sarah Beth do not like each other. They just gave each other kind of the death stare. Tiffany's really mad right now. This is interesting. Tiffany is really getting upset by people not acknowledging her when she says good morning. Tiffany, are they really trying to edit that Tiffany is solely wanting to go after Sarah Beth because of a good morning? Is that what they're trying to edit here right now? Which is a little disingenuous, just a little bit. See, and that's the thing too, is Tiffany has a pretty good plan. She has a pretty good plan on what she wants to do here, but it all comes down on who wins this HOH. The cookout could get exposed this upcoming week, depending on who wins HOH. And we could end up with a completely split house here. Like, all of these alliances you see over here could all blow up. They could all blow up this week. I'm pretty sure, I mean, we're not 100%, but we're pretty sure that the teams are going to end this week. Just makes sense with the endurance comp that they would say, all right, the teams are over. Now we're moving on into just a regular game of Big Brother. That was interesting there too. Azah just said she thought it was the 5 plus Hannah, right? The cookout isn't a 6, it's 5 plus Hannah. But I think a lot of the other people in the cookout just include Hannah now, which again, originally wasn't the deal, right? Originally it was the 4 with Kai and Hannah on the outskirts. Then they pulled in Kai more, and then they were like, maybe we should have pulled in Hannah more. It's interesting. We don't care about Whitney's campaign. Whitney's going home. We don't care. Come on, let's get past this. We want more of next week, because that's the interesting topic. They're not sending Britini home this week. Or Britini, Hannah. Hannah's not going home this week because it's just the way the votes go. I keep thinking that Britini's on the block because she was on the block for 2 weeks and she can't stop talking about how she was on the block for 2 weeks. She's got like some lingering issues for the fact that she was on the block for 2 weeks straight and she won't let anybody forget it. They're trying to set up for like the idea that Whitney would be able to stay this week, but again, you have the cookout, which are all going to be voting for Hannah to stay, right? That's 5 right off the bat. As of right now, Claire's pretty much on board with Whitney going home. DX is on board with Whitney going home because he's with Hannah, right? So it's 5 plus DX for sure. Claire is still on board because she hasn't 100% figured out the whole cookout thing. And that would be 7. And at that point, what is even the vote count? Yeah, you only need what? 6? Because there's 13 house guests left, 3 aren't voting. So 10, yeah, you only need 6, right? So you have 5 plus DX, that's 6. Unlike Alyssa, everybody has forgotten who was on the right. It looks also like they filled in Whitney on what's going on as well. Whitney's wearing a dress. Everybody else is in their athletic gear, ready for the competition, including Hannah. Hannah is in casual wear. Not preparing to leave at all. So it's pretty much a foregone conclusion that we just want to get to the HOH competition. That's the real thing here. We just want to get to the HOH competition and see what happens. That's interesting, though, that we've gone to 2 commercial breaks this early. What else are they going to possibly show us? It's like they're trying to get them all out of the way. I don't know. If you guys had your pick, who would be your pick for HOH? Again, I think for me, maybe the most interesting one would be Sarah Beth, right? Since everybody's targeting her, they can't go after her. And then Claire is safe, so they can't go after Claire. Do they just go after Christian and Alyssa? But Sarah Beth would be the one to have to do that. And I don't think Sarah Beth wants to do that. Everyone is voting out Whitney. She said she wanted to go home before jury if they were going to try and take her out. Yes, she did say that. She did say that. Ooh, Picola Kyland. Kyland would be an interesting HOH because what would he do? Right? He's not going to want to take out Sarah Beth. Right? But he would also want to do the cookout, best interests. So would then he go after Christian and Alyssa? That would be, I guess, the default then one, because he wouldn't go after DX. I don't think he would do that. Because at the very least, DX feels good about Kyland, right? So DX wouldn't put Kyland up if he wasn't HOH, if that makes sense. So who would be the target? The only one that would really be left would be Christian and Alyssa. That would be interesting. That would be interesting. For everyone's game except Christian and Alyssa, getting Christian out this week might be their best, their last chance. That's true, right? Because this is maybe the last week that Christian won't be able to play in both the HOH and the veto, right? Like, this would be a really good opportunity to go, all right, he's vulnerable. His only chance to save himself would be the veto. There's no wild card competition you have to worry about anymore. This would be the time to maybe go after him. We'll see. We'll see. Are we getting into the vote? We're getting into it, boys and girls. We're getting into it.
What a beautiful looking bunch. All right, everyone, it is time for the live vote and eviction. Hannah,
It is time for
Whitney,
the live vote
in just
and eviction.
moments, your housemates will cast their...
We'll get into some speeches here in a second. I'm going to cut the audio just because I can't share all of it at once, but I try and share as much of it as I can. So if I cut it here, I can give you guys their speeches in just a second here. We've got Hannah's speech.
To my friends and family, especially my mom, dad, Simone, Grammy, and Auntie Trish, I love and miss you guys so much. But truth be told, I'm not trying to see any of you anytime soon. Now, to my fellow house guests. I've sincerely enjoyed playing this game with all of you for the past 30 days. And I leave you with the following question. How will this house survive without its very own personal stylist? And to answer that, you should never have to know.
This is not a serious speech. Let's see what Whitney has to say.
Hair, I love and miss you guys like crazy. Everyone, please follow Makeup by Wit if you want some makeup tutorials like we've done in here. Fellow house guests, I've
Is she
never
even gonna
met
try?
a group of
Oh, you
weirder,
think she's gonna try?
also uniquely
really.
creative, and honestly the most loving people I've ever met in my entire life. No matter what happens tonight, I hope you know that there's absolutely no hard feelings.
Her just
I
saying
love you.
goodbye. Yeah. Nothing really special with her speech. All right. Okay, we know Whitney is going, but it would be funny if Hannah got evicted. Especially, yeah, she's just wearing like a University of Tennessee t-shirt and some leggings. I feel like that's happened to somebody before, where they got evicted in athletic clothes because they didn't expect to be voted out. And I also remember Matt Hoffman in, what was that, BB12? Was that BB12? With the brigade and all them? He had, it wasn't the coup d'etat. It was the Diamond Power of Veto. And then he competed in a wall competition in his jeans and button-down shirt. I'm not sure. I think I missed it. Derek F just voted to evict Whitney, but he has not been able to say I vote to evict properly any of the evictions. Brittany's up next.
Hi, Brittany.
What's up, Julie Jen?
Okay, gotta get down to business. Please cast your vote to evict.
I vote to evict the wonderful, lovely, and incredible Whitney.
Thank you.
2 for
Marissa,
Whitney.
Charlie, Zach, love you all.
2 for Whitney. That happened to Jeff in a double. Oh, I think that did happen to Jeff in a double. You're right, Jolanda. I believe that's how you say that. Yeah, Jolanda. That did happen to Jeff.
Thank you.
We missed Azah, but Azah voted to evict Whitney as well. That is 3 now for Whitney. We got
Hi,
Kyland.
Hi,
Kyland's
Miss
in the
Julie. You
DR.
look stunning this evening.
Thank you. Please cast your vote to evict.
I sadly vote to evict the inspirational Whitney.
Thank you.
Whitney.
Thank you. Love you, Mom, Gil, Dad, Mia.
It seems like a foregone conclusion that it's just going to be a unanimous vote for Whitney at this point. We got Alyssa.
Please cast your vote to evict.
I vote to evict Whitney.
Thank you.
That is
Thank
5.
you. Hi, Molly Bird fam.
5 for Whitney. Christie was mad in BB23 because she wasn't dressed up when she got voted out in the double.
Cast your vote to evict.
Sarah
I
Beth.
vote to evict Whitney. Happy birthday,
That
Grandma.
is 6. 6 votes for Whitney to leave. We got Claire coming in now.
Hi, Claire.
Greetings, Julie.
Please cast your vote to evict.
I vote to evict Whitney.
Thank you. Thank you.
And when it's a double, you can't really get too mad. You can't get too mad for not being, like, able to be dressed up, right? Because it's so quick, and, like, nobody knows it's happening. I mean, they kind of know.
Evict.
I vote to evict Whitney. Miss you guys,
Yes.
Samir, Omni, Karen.
It's all just academic at this point. Tiffany is in the booth now.
Please cast your vote to evict.
I sadly vote to evict Whitney.
Thank you.
Tiffany as well goes for Whitney. I'm assuming it's just going to be unanimous. I don't even know if she'll get, like, a sympathy vote from, like, Xavier or anything. Speaking of Xavier, here comes Xavier.
Oh, Xavier.
What's going on, Julie?
Please cast your vote to evict.
I vote to evict Whitney.
Thank you.
Thanks, Julie.
Is this going to be the first unanimous vote? Yeah, because there was a hinky vote in all the other ones. And was it unanimous for Brent? I forget. I forget already if it was unanimous for Brent or not. Wow, Sarah Beth surprised me. Thought for sure she would vote against Hannah no matter what. You know what? I think it was one of those things where she knows, like, why bother, right? One vote, what's it gonna do? What's it gonna do? You know, what's that one vote really gonna accomplish?
To 0. Whitney, you are evicted from the Big Brother house.
Vote. Why?
She's like, not even a sympathy vote.
Wait, let's go pay the door. Okay.
You know we love
And
you
they're just
so
doing
much.
their hugs.
Yeah.
It's all the hugs. And then I assume we might get another commercial break here. They'll do the interview, come back, start the HOH competition. And we might get to watch a lot of that. We'll see. I believe Brett was unanimous. Yeah, I think it was. I think it was. Actually, let's check. We could pull this up quick enough. Wow, I love how the Big Brother wiki already has all of the Whitney votes up. They already are on top of it, putting it up there. Yeah, it looks like Brent was unanimous as well. I thought maybe he got a sympathy vote. Like one person was like, yeah, I'll vote Britini. But I guess not. I'm just thinking of all those hinky votes that Derek F kept throwing in there, voting against the house. Yeah, nobody gave him a vote. Nobody did. They're all just kind of reacting, waiting for the picture to turn gray. And in fact, you know what we can do? Oh, there it goes. It went gray. It went gray. All right, we can do this. We can bring this down here. They're all trying to run to the bathroom before the competition. They're giving us a lot of time there with the house, just kind of getting their initial reactions. We don't usually get that much, which is kind of nice. All right, we are heading into our next commercial break here. As I'm just adjusting our little thing here. Not only has the memory wall gone gray, but so has our friend Whitney on our board. That update? Yeah, look at that. We got an update already. And actually, I guess I can get rid of the wild card since that's over with. We'll just have our HOH and our veto here as well. If it will let me. Come on. There we go. Save that. Aces down to 2 members. 2 members of the Aces. That is all that we have left. There we go. Fully updated. Ready for our HOH comp to see what happens. My DoorDash order needs to hurry before this endurance comp starts, right? Get your food in. Get your food in quick before everything gets underway. I wonder, right? So they did put a post out on social media of that competition, which I forget what season it was. It might have been 21, where the house gets hung upside down from like clocks. So it could be a hanging comp where people have to hang from something like ropes or something along those lines. We could see a slip and slide. We could also see a wall comp, but I think season 8 was the clocks, wasn't it? Yes, because that was the what you call it, Alice in Wonderland kind of themed house, right? So that's what that was from. So it could be a wall comp, it could be a slip and slide, it could be a hanging comp. Those are all kind of famous endurance comps. I don't think it will be the wall comp, but that's usually their go-to endurances. We haven't seen a hanging comp in a while. It's been a hot minute since we've seen one of those, so I would actually like that. That'd be kind of cool. I always like those ones where they spun them around and then hit them with something, right? They were on like the thing and then it would come around and every so often they'd get hit by it. Those were always pretty interesting. I think some people would get like really hurt by the ropes and get some serious rope burn though, during those competitions. So I don't think they do them as often. Could be a slip and slide, but it does seem like maybe it's a lot of people for a slip and slide. Would it really be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 11 lanes. 11 lanes on a slip and slide seems like a lot. Bruno, what up, Bruno? How are you, everyone? If you don't know Bruno right there, he is a Big Brother Canada legend. He's up here in the chat. We're just hanging out, watching the live eviction episode. Whitney is about to get interviewed, and we're waiting to see what happens in the HOH competition. How are you, Bruno? Bruno, we just saw Whitney get evicted. We're discussing on what kind of HOH competition it will be. What kind of HOH competition we'll see today. Who knows? Who knows? I'm hoping for a hanging comp where they hang from the rope and they kind of spin them around or something like that. That's my hope. Whitney's getting interviewed here. Julie's pretty much just asking her, you know, why she thought she got evicted. She's like, I wasn't afraid to make big moves, you know? Things are good. Great to see you as well, Bruno. Also, if anybody hasn't seen, Bruno was the host of the weigh-ins for Big Brother Canada versus Big Brother US over on Twitch. It was the sole place you could see it. He has actually posted that on his YouTube, so you can see the weigh-ins, you can see the press conferences, all on his YouTube channel, because that's actually going to be tomorrow. If you don't know, Big Brother Canada versus Big Brother US in boxing matches. People like Fessy versus John Party. We've got, who else is fighting? Casey from BB23 going up against, who's she going up against? Veronica? Veronica from BB 4? 4 was it? Or 6? Yeah, it's going to be great. Those fights are going to be awesome. Enzo going up against Godfrey. That's going to be another good one. And then you have all of the stuff like Michael Stubley going up against Caleb. That's going to be a good one as well. It's going to be some good action from 6. From 6, Veronica was. Yeah, Bruno, go do your thing. Get those kids to bed. Get them to bed. Get them sleeping. So they're telling Whitney about the royal flush. They're telling Whitney about the royal flush, but they're not telling her about the cookout. Yet, at least. This is interesting. I wonder why they would show her just the royal flush and not the cookout. Interesting. That's interesting. Oh, it's time for goodbye messages. Time for some goodbye messages. Xavier up first with his goodbye. I don't think there's going to be like any mean goodbyes or anything like that. I think it's going to be a fairly smooth goodbye messages. Nothing too mean. Sarah Beth talking about how she fought hard to keep her. I thought Claire could not cast a vote this week because she was immune to jury. So that was like the rumor that was going around online that she gave up her ability to vote for 2 weeks of safety, but it seems like that wasn't actually part of the deal. It just was if she took it that she was safe for 2 weeks. So there really was no like negative to that, which is interesting because when they originally gave these concepts of like the wild card, they had the idea that it was going to be, you know, like a pro and a con to taking these, just like with, you know, the idea of like rolling the dice, right? Like if there was even like talk about like there being punishments for the house too. But again, we haven't seen any of that yet. Or if they just abandoned that altogether. But yeah, she just gets safety for 2 weeks. Who is evicted plus hi? Hello, Philly Dog. How are you? Whitney was evicted unanimously. We're headed to a commercial break right now. But once we cut back, it will be time for the HOH competition, I believe. But yes, it was Whitney who was evicted by a unanimous vote. Maybe because it's more like an agreement and not an alliance. They usually show the alliances. That's the thing, though. I would say the cookout is an alliance. They have a name. They are fully connected and supporting each other. Like, I don't see any reason why not to call that an alliance. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I think Julie is going to make a big announcement to the top 12. Yeah, she did say something like that. I think she's basically just telling them they're in jury. But that would make an even number of jury members, which would be weird. Or no, it wouldn't make an even number of it would actually make an even number of jury members. So yeah, I don't know what the big announcement would be if they're not in jury, unless she's saying like after this week they're not in jury, or the big announcement is just that the teams are done. There are no more teams, and everything will be good to go. Hello from Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome in, Elizabeth. How are you? How is it it's an island, right? Trinidad and Tobago, it's an island. I'm not 100% positive with that. But welcome on in. Welcome on in. Yeah, I would say it might be like a dual thing where it's either like jury is next week, like this is the last eviction before jury, or just that teams are no longer a thing. Those are going to be my guesses on what Julie's going to be announcing here to them in just a bit. Because that also just makes sense for why you would want to do the endurance comp now that it's going to be such a big thing for you know, the teams to go and then jump into the endurance comp, make it more dramatic. I don't want the Kings to win HOH. I feel you on that. I feel you, because they've been dominating right now. But I wouldn't mind Sarah Beth winning it, because I think Sarah Beth might be the most interesting person to win HOH, but we'll see. You want Christian gone? Yes, it's an island, and it's like hot like Hades. Hot like Hades. I love it. Hopefully you stay cool down there. Not about dissolving the Joker's Aces, Kings, and Queens since the first weeks are up. Yeah, that's what I think. That's what I think the announcement's going to end up being as well. He is definitely a threat, and he's not just a physical threat. He's smart too. He's one of the only people during that first competition for the captaincies to actually lay out all the pieces on the ground and look at it completely, right? He was really smart with how he was able to compete that. So yeah, he's not just a physical threat. He is a very smart competitor as well. Yes, Christian would be another Jackson, only better. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that happening, right? Where if you don't get rid of him now, he's just going to continue to go, right? He's just going to continue to keep swooping through everything and not being able to get him out because he keeps winning the competitions. Sarah Beth said to the camera last night that she is throwing it. Oh no, Brooke. Oh no, that is not good. That is definitely not good. You don't want to see that because she needs to win this competition. That is for sure. Let's see here. Make sure everything's good. Yeah, it seems like everything's okay. Went through a little bit of a lag spike there, but we should be good now. And Alyssa is a much better Holly, Beth. Yeah. Here's the thing too. Alyssa, right? I could see Alyssa winning this competition. This might be one that is right up her alley, right? An endurance comp. Normally the smaller, lighter girls, they do really well in endurance comps. So if it's something like where like you're hanging on a rope or sitting on something or a wall comp, she's light, probably do pretty well. Yeah, it sounds like teams are getting eliminated. Yep, teams are breaking up. Julie's gathering everybody in the living room here. If both Derek's survive this upcoming week, we would be amazing, making history with the first season to have two people with the same name in jury. You know what? Yeah, because how many times has there been people with the same name even in the house? So, yeah.
All 12 of you there?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Excellent. Now, as you
Julie
all
making
know,
her announcement.
Earlier, the Aces lost another teammate, leaving their team count down to only 2. Meanwhile, the Jokers and the Queens both have 3 teammates remaining. And the Kings, they are the sole team completely intact with all 4 members. But
Sarah Beth was...
none of that matters now.
Let you see their reactions.
Because only one person can win Big Brother and the $750,000 grand prize that goes with it. So, from here on out, it's every man and woman for themselves.
Goodbye, teams. But I think there's still going to be a lot of working with each other's teams, right? Like, I think the team lines aren't going to dissolve
officially over.
Completely.
And with it goes the wild card competition. That means you are all now playing on your own.
No teams. We already know about no wild card, but that is
can
gone as well.
guarantee your safety.
Got it.
Sounds good.
All right.
All right. Everyone breathe.
I think it's going to be time to get on into that HOH here in just a bit. Apparently they can't hear Julie. All right. She's asking some questions of the house guests. While she does that, I'll catch up here on some chat. I can see if Alyssa and Christian are on the block together, everyone will vote Alyssa out and keep Christian because he is more logical and can be more manipulated into whatever people want. You know what though? I feel like you, if you have them both up, you got to take out Christian. You almost have to. And I don't know. I don't know if necessarily they would think Christian would be more manipulative, or not manipulative, but able to be manipulated. Because at that point, I don't know if it really matters, because as soon as you get one of them out, that takes away that big threat. And the other one's just kind of a sitting duck, and you'd rather the one who wasn't as good as competitions left in the house. Oh my God, please, we need the power to shift. No Alyssa or Sarah Beth win. You know what, Jolanda? Here's the only thing, though. Here's the only thing. I think the power has shifted, right? So if you're only a episode watcher and you're not a feed watcher, you might think, yes, the Kings have been kind of running things, right? But that's not really what's been going on. It's really been the cookout running things, right? Like, everything that's happened has kind of been set up by, especially Tiffany. Tiffany has really been kind of the invisible hand pulling the strings on everything. Even when Frenchie was HOH, as crazy as that was, and as, like, off the wall as that went, she still had a lot of control in influencing him a little bit, right? And at least knowing what was going on. She wasn't in the slaughterhouse, but they were in like another little alliance that was called like the Parents for a while, and she had like a pretty good relationship with Frenchie. After that, Kyland was HOH, and she had a really good say in that as well. And then the last two HOHs, not as much say. Well, yeah, with Xavier, she had a lot of good say in that too. But with Christian, not as much, but she was still able to push it so that Hannah was no longer the target and that Whitney was the one sent home. Because at the beginning of this week, it was almost clear that it was like, yeah, you know what? Why waste this week on Whitney? Let's get out Hannah because she's smarter, right? She's somebody who can be kind of a danger down the road. And three of the Kings were really on board with that, with Sarah Beth, Alyssa, and Christian. Xavier was the only one who was like, I don't know about this. So I almost feel like the most entertaining thing right now is to have it where someone like Sarah Beth would win. Because that could be something that could split the house. Right? Expose the cookout for what it is. And then Claire, Christian, Alyssa, Derek X might end up on one side. Hannah might end up kind of in the middle there, right? Being pulled to either side. It's going to start getting messy. It's going to start getting really messy here soon. Because if you look over here at the alliances, almost everybody is aligned with everybody at this point, right? Like, the only one who's not really aligned with anybody is Britini. Like, that's like the only one. There was the Kingslayers alliance, which was around, but even that, it's like that's kind of gone at this point. So who knows? Who knows what's going to end up with that? Why do they show the beginning of the HOH comp at the end of the program, not the whole thing? So that's the thing. The whole thing will be on the live feeds, which as soon as the episode's over, the live feeds are supposed to be coming on and we get to watch the rest of the endurance comp, which I will be staying live through. We will be here the entire time until we find out who the HOH is. Tiffany has been running the house. Exactly, Picola. She has really had her fingers in everything that's gone on this entire season. And I'm all for it. She's been doing really well. The only problem is the rest of the house knows this. The rest of the house not only knows that she's well liked in the house by everybody, but they also know that she's probably liked by America. They were joking week one saying, hey, you know what? America's favorite player, write the check for Tiffany already. Write her, Julie, write her the check, they said. Because she was just so well liked. She's funny. She's likable. And that's going to be maybe her biggest flaw. It's a wall comp. We have a wall competition, people. That's what it is. Let's see here. Let's see here. To be able to show it to you guys. Right now, they're just kind of catching us up on what's going to be happening this upcoming week. Oh, yes, it's a wall. Thanks for the explanation. I have a feeling that Tiffany is going out next in 12th place. It all depends. It all depends on who wins this HOH. Oh, another twist. Sounds like there's going to be an America vote coming up. It's time for the HOH. Come on. Give you guys a peek here at what it looks like. Christian will not be able to compete. Whale of a time, this is called. This one could go on for a while. Everyone's excited. They're like, we're doing a wall comp. If it's the Kings again, ugh. Who is HOH? So right now we don't know who HOH is yet, but one of these people will be HOH as they hang on to this wall here. They've all got goggles on, so they're gonna be squirting them with something here in a bit, in just a bit. Absolutely nobody in the house is targeting Tiffany. Yeah, right now nobody's really going after Tiffany, but people are starting to realize. They're starting to realize that she's a threat. So I don't think she would be going out this week. Yeah, because even whoever wins HOH, right? Like, I just don't see her as the one they would go after. But I think Sarah Beth is in a lot of trouble, and she really needs to win this. If she doesn't, she could be in a really rough spot, and it would take Kyland really coming up big to be able to save her. It's raining on them now. It's raining on them now. They're soaking them. They're soaking them early. Oh, Derek F does not look like he's doing well. Derek F looks like he's struggling already. Let's see here if they even have the live feeds up yet. Live feeds are not up yet. It is still puppy cams at the moment. So we're still waiting for that to come online. As you can see, still on the puppy cams. Well, actually, right now it's kitten cam. But yeah, we're still waiting on them to come on. But once they do, we will be here. I'll be giving commentary on who's left up on the wall, who ends up winning. We are not going off until we have a winner. Who knows how long this could go? Who knows? Could be hours. Could be hours, people. Let's catch up on some chat here. Oh, yes, it's a wall. Who's HOH? Taking bets on Derek F falling first. Gary, probably a good guess. probably a good guess that he's going to fall first. That would be the odds on that pretty high. I think Britini will. Ooh, Philly dog saying that it's going to be Britini. We'll see. America looks like might be for a big treat because they might make their first big decision in BB23. That is right, AMM. Or Tracknado, wherever you'd like to be called. Not 100% sure which you prefer. But yeah, it looks like we are going to have an America's vote on something. They haven't really explained to us what it's going to be, but it's the next big twist Julie told us about. We'll have to see what comes of that this week. Elizabeth, I'd like Britini to win, throw a wrench into the whole game. It's too predictable otherwise. You know what? Britini would be an interesting one, but I almost guarantee you she would just go after Christian and Alyssa. But she might be convinced by the cookout to go after Sarah Beth. And by the cookout, I mean Tiffany. Philly said, "Oh, wait. You think Britini will win?" Says Philly. You think Britini will win? That's an interesting call. Well, I'm impressed they all made it through the commercial break and to the end of the show. Yeah, they were still up there. But we'll see once the feeds come up who is still up there. Let's see. Derek X for the win. Rachel Riley for HOH, says Ethan. Bless you for having a small window of the actual screen up. Yeah, so once the actual competition starts, I'll be able to share some of it. I can't show the whole thing. Right now, we're still on the kittens. The kittens, oh, man, that kitten is really trying to get that other kitten. Oh, they're going at it. Oh, she's biting now. Oh! That's a thing going on there. But we will have a peek on what's going on the live feeds here as well once they get underway. I want Alyssa or Claire to win. Claire would be an interesting one because I would like to get more insight on what her actual strategy is, but I almost guarantee you she is throwing this competition. She is not going to win it. She has safety for the week already. She doesn't want to put more of a target on her back. Plus, if she wins HOH, it kind of wastes her safety, and then she's not safe for it as well. Let's see here. Yeah, why is that your name? Why is that your name? That is such an interesting name. What the F is this? How do you feel about Derek X's position in the house right now? And what do you think his fate will be? His position's pretty good, but he's like third on the chopping block right now of at least Tiffany's chopping block. If Tiffany had her way, it would be Sarah Beth going this week, Claire going next week, and then Derek X going the following week. Why it's those three, I'm not 100% sure. She feels like she wants to keep Christian and Alyssa around for a little bit longer of a haul. I guess because they're the target, right? It's kind of like a meat shield for the rest of the cookout. Like as long as Christian and Alyssa are in the house, they're kind of protected. But if they win HOH, they're also probably going after you. So it's kind of a catch-22 there. As far as everything else, I really do like that Derek X has learned the game quickly. If you don't know, he was a recruit, so he wasn't like a super fan of the show. So the fact that he's caught on to how to play this game so quickly, awesome. And he's been doing a really good job this season so far. Let's see. I want Derek X to win. He won 2 comps and slipped out to Whitney that she is gone. Yeah, he did slip to Whitney that she was going to be going. And he has won comps already, so they do think he's a bit of a comp threat. As the feeds are coming back, it doesn't look like anybody has fallen yet. We've got 2 of the cams on. 2 of the cams are still on. We'll be right back. But it does not look like anyone has fallen just yet. Everyone is still up there hanging on and in there for HOH. So no one has fallen just yet. Let me get some volume on here so I can hear what's going on as well with the competition. It's raining on them still. It is still raining on the Houseguests. They're not leaning at the moment. Looks like they've given them a little bit of a break. It's kind of tilted back a bit. But it is still a hard competition on these walls because they have a very thin area to be able to stand. Christian's just sitting back looking up at him like, man, I am glad I am not up on that wall. He seems very happy that he is not up on that wall. Give you guys a view of what's going on. Raining hard, pouring down on the Houseguests. It's interesting. It doesn't seem like they're going to get much shot on them, right? Normally there's stuff that's like shot, but there doesn't seem to be any kind of cannon type things around that would allow for that to happen. Maybe they're above and we can't see them, but they do have goggles on. Let's catch up on some chat here. Where was I? When do you think Brand Steel will be releasing this season as a simulator? Oh yeah, the BB simulators. I don't know how quickly they usually put them out. Those are kind of fun to mess around with, and like make your own custom seasons and put different people on there. Yeah, those are fun. I meant to say Britini might win this HOH. You did say that. I just misread it, Philly. Joey says, that cat's like 12, 12, 12. Wait, what? Oh, oh, there goes DF. DF has been eliminated. Who called it? Who called it that he was going to be first? Was it Gary? Was it Gary who called that it would be first for Derek F to fall? That was a big fall. I heard that crash. It was like, boom. Derek F's like, it sucks. It sucks. So Derek F is your first one eliminated from the HOH competition. Let's see. Why do you still have the teams? The teams are done. Yeah, the teams are done. I do have to change that. But you know what? We might keep them up just for a little bit, because I do feel like they're still going to somewhat work with each other's teams a bit, right? Like, even though the teams are done and Tiffany's technically going after Claire, Xavier is probably going after the rest of the Kings now with the cookout, and the Jokers are probably going to try and take out Britini. I do feel like there's still going to be somewhat of this team dynamic still there. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. WTF says, thanks, man. Leo and Satan videos. What? Nintendo Freak says, in my opinion, I hope Kyland wins season 23. I like Kyland a lot too. Kyland started off, I think, a little bit paranoid, right? And a little bit like frantic, because he did kind of throw DX and Travis under the bus to Frenchie. That was actually a thing that happened. That was maybe like one of the one things Frenchie said that was true. Kyland did kind of throw them under the bus there. And even the cookout got a little bit worried. They were like, Kyland's freaking out week 1, but he's really kind of settled down and come into his own. And I do like him a lot. Why did she want DX out? I thought they were teaming. So they are, right? They're in the Royal Flush. They're in the Detectives. But the end of the day for Tiffany, at least, and I think most of the cookout first, right? Like cookout is number 1. It's all about cookout. Derek F for the win. Not so much. He's first out. Feeds are up. Yes. Let's see. Kyland is looking good. I don't want DX to win. I think one of the Jokers might win. Britini could win. Azah has a good chance too. Again, usually like smaller girls do really well in these type of competitions. I'd say Hannah has a good shot. Alyssa has a good shot. Azah has a good shot. Tiffany has a good shot. Sarah Beth could do well too. That said, it could be somebody like, honestly, I think everybody up there has a really good shot. Maybe not Britini. Maybe not Britini. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Derek Flop can go. Do you think Derek X and Hannah will become a showmance, or do you think any chance of that are done since they aren't in an alliance together? They're kind of like a flirtmance, right? And I do have them listed here as kind of having like a final two. It was never like explicitly said, but I do think the two of them would like to keep each other around. But the more time goes on, I think the more solid the cookout actually becomes. Usually things separate. Oh, and they're leaning them over. Somebody might fall here. Let's take a look in. This is usually the time when somebody might fall. But we'll see. Everybody's holding strong. They say it's getting steeper every time they do it. Oh, yeah, that is an interesting idea. There are some people that are staggering their grip, right? Where some are a little bit higher and some are a little bit lower. Like you can see Xavier there has a stagger. Claire has a bit of a stagger going as well. So we'll see what ends up being the best strategy for holding on there. But yeah, as far as them becoming an actual showmance, I don't know. We'll see. Because, again, Tiffany is going after Derek X. So if Tiffany had her way, Derek X wouldn't be long for this game. Kyland is looking good. The real Noah, Kim, I would hope not. What did the real Noah say? Oh, about DX and Hannah being a showmance. Easton's messages were redacted. Joey says Kyland is playing really well right now. Oh! If they're throwing up on them! Oh. Oh my goodness! Oh, it's coming out of the mouths! It's coming out of their mouths! Oh, that's amazing. Oh, that's amazing. It is on everybody's head. The only one who really kind of avoided it was Kai. Kai pretty much avoided getting thrown up on there. Oh my gosh. All right, let's see here. Let's see what was Joey saying? Kyland is playing really well right now because he's not having to do a whole lot of notable moves and make himself seem smart, athletic, but most certainly has plenty of alliances and plays well. Yeah, Kyland is in a really good spot. It's going to be interesting here though, because if Sarah Beth doesn't win and she becomes the target, will he push to keep her? Right? Will he push to keep her going and in the house? And how hard will he push for that? Because that could endanger him going forward as well. And down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. Why didn't I think of that? Why didn't I think of that? For those of you who don't know, Derek F., his father was Smokin' Joe Frazier. He was the man to beat Muhammad Ali for the first time, but he also, was it Holyfield? No, it wasn't Holyfield. It was, what was that fight? Because Frazier was in a boxing match, he gets knocked out, and then it's the famous line of "Down goes Frazier." So yeah, that was great. Has anyone won yet? Not yet. As I continue to catch up on some chat here. Hello Xavier, what up? Hello there. How are you? Welcome on back. So glad Christian can't play. Yeah, he is the outgoing HOH, so he is not in there. Yeah, Big D fell hard. Please no Kings winning this season, winning this HOH. Yeah, the only King that I would really be okay with would, I mean, I wouldn't mind Xavier winning. I'm okay with Xavier winning, but that puts a big target on his back. Maybe Sarah Beth. I'm kind of for Sarah Beth winning. We'll see how it goes though. Who winning would shake up the house the most and create the most amount of drama. So Tanias maybe is how you pronounce that. Let me know if I'm pronouncing that wrong. I think Sarah Beth. I think Sarah Beth might be the one that caused the most drama, which is why I'm for Sarah Beth going up. Let's give you another peek in here as they tilt them forward once again. Oh, they're really tilting them forward now. They are maybe at like a 45-degree angle-ish. This is tough here. If you look over there at Britini, she is really hanging. Tiffany is really hanging. They're giving them guys a break. They're giving them a break, sending them back again. It doesn't look like anybody's going to fall that time. Though I will say, whoever falls now is getting covered in slime. They are getting covered in slime. So yeah, Tanias. Oh wait, here. Tonies. Is that how it is? Tonies. Maybe I'm saying that right now. Yeah, Sarah Beth potentially would be the one that caused the most drama. Joey, the money line on betting DF to fall first would not have been a high return. Not at all, Joey. Not at all. Dude's thick and hasn't done well in any comp. That's true. That's true. I'd love to see Azah go rogue. Yes. I think Azah, of all the people, might be the one to maybe go the most rogue.
Mermaid.
Christian is asking Derek F. what his favorite mythological creature is. And Derek F's response is, what's a mythological creature?
Yeah, I love a unicorn because it's rainbow.
He loves a unicorn.
The half man, half horse.
A manator?
A horse?
Minotaur?
No, it's not called a horseman.
Half man, half horse is that's not the
Stay with it, guys. Stay with
it.
A senator. Senator?
Look,
Senator? Maybe.
That's
such a random question from Christian. Let's see. I want Derek to win the whole thing. Derek X would be a good person to win. Riley coming in and saying hi. How are you, Riley? JD, did anyone fall in the live HOH competition? Yes, JD. Derek F was the first to fall and the only person to fall yet. Morgan says, thank you for live streaming. You are welcome, Morgan. We're going to be here the entire time until we have an HOH. The real Noah says, let's say all members of the cookout make it to the final 6. What do you think would happen at that point? Like, who turns on who and what small alliances would be made? That's a good question. Because I feel like they would get Tiffany out. I feel like they would know. They would say, listen, we just got to get Tiff out. And I feel like it would be the boys. I think the 3 boys, Xavier, Kai, and Derek F. You can see on the board there, we have them listed as the 3 kings. They would probably be the tightest of them. As I'll let you guys take another look here as they got thrown up on some more. Oh, yeah. Oh, that was a good one right there. That was a big old vomit. I love that there's the residual. Like there's the vomit that lands on the top. That's just some residual vomit that comes down on them. Look at it dripping. It just drips. It's fantastic. It reminds me of like Nickelodeon slime, like back in the 90s. It was always a dream to get slimed. Let's see. So yeah, the real Noah. That's a good question that maybe we can get back to once I catch up on chat here, because I'm a little bit far behind. But we'll get back to that. We'll get back to that, because I think a final 6 of the cookout would be a really interesting final 6. Like, normally the final 6 is kind of like, you know, everything's already set up. That would actually be really interesting to see how that goes. I'm rooting for Claire. She's able to win comps, and she has the alliances and good strategy. I am really happy that we got Claire. Claire was an alternate. It was originally supposed to be Christine, but sadly Christine had what I believe was a false positive test, and had to be removed last minute. But I'm very happy that we got Claire in the house. From what I understand, she actually has been studying. She put together like a whole binder of like Big Brother strategies and competitions, and what the best strategies to go with in those competitions are. So she's been preparing for this for a really long time. I feel like Sarah Beth would get HOH-itis. Potentially. But I feel like Kai might be able to help her out with that and keep her on the straight and narrow. The two of them are very close, so I think he would help out a lot with that. Why don't you show the comp the whole time? So sadly, Shirley, I can't do that because YouTube will go, hey, bang, and take me out. They would give me a copyright strike real quick. But I will show you guys as much as I can, as long as I can. Actually, right now isn't even much to show you. Like, for example, it's on Be Right Back. So I do show you guys as much as I possibly can throughout the night. Let's see. Riley, yeah, I feel like Azah HOH would potentially be chaotic. I feel like that would be a little chaotic too. She's, again, maybe the one in the cookout that I could see going the most rogue. Xavier's going to stay on track. Tiffany is not wanting to win this, I don't think. Tiffany's staying in just as long as she needs to until Sarah Beth is gone, and then Tiffany will drop. Mark my words. As soon as Sarah Beth drops, that's when Tiffany will drop. Mark my words. Kyland would be an interesting one to win from the cookout this week too, because he wouldn't want to go after Sarah Beth. Hannah would listen to Tiffany. But Azah would be pretty chaotic. I don't know what she would actually do. Hello there, horseman? Who's the horseman? Like the 4 horsemen? Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard? Like that horseman? Oh, a Minotaur. The Minotaur. From the Christian asking who your favorite mythological creature is. That was such a random question to ask. Tony S. Got it. Christian and DF are both lost. Yeah, they're somewhere else right now. How fun would it be if Britini won? She'd be a wild card for sure. Yeah, I don't know what Britini would do 100%. I feel like she might go after Christian and Alyssa. Maybe. She might also just be like, yo, we got to go after just the kings in general, right? So she might be swayed to put up someone like Sarah Beth. We'll see. One of the plans that Tiffany was putting out there earlier was like, look, put me on the block. I know I'm not going anywhere. Put me up against Claire and send Claire home. Obviously, that can't happen now because Claire is safe, but that could be a plan in the future. Let's see. Where was I? It's called a centaur. Yeah. That's the half man, half horse. I was thinking from like Harry Potter. Faith says, I don't think Christian and Alyssa will go far because they are a pretty big target on the back. That is true. But it's all about if they keep winning competitions, because we've seen it before where when you just keep winning competitions and you're a comp beast, there's nothing you can do. I feel like Xavier, Sarah Beth, Claire are the next to fall. Potentially. Let's take a look in here and see if we can see anybody struggling. Let's see, actually. We can switch over here as well. Show you guys real big Real big what's going on. Give you guys a good old look at what's happening, who's struggling. Britini looks like she's starting to struggle a little bit. You can see it on her face. Uh-oh. Brit might be gone here. No? No, they're giving themselves a little bit of a break. They are still a bit of an angle though. So they can't just relax. They've gotta stick together and stick to it. But we'll see. Let's catch up on some more chat here as it continues to rain on the house guests. Britini's rapping would make me self-evict. I don't know if you guys saw, there was a thing somebody posted, where it was like, what's the girl's name? It's like Dua Lipa, the singer. She has a song out with the baby, and the baby has had a lot of controversy recently. So they've replaced his verse in the song with Britini's rap. That was going around Twitter. I saw that. It was hilarious. Dang, Derek F fell. I hope Azah or Derek X wins this HOH. Yeah, JD, those would be some interesting wins. Azah, especially, we were talking about, could be very chaotic. Uh-oh. We might have somebody going. Azah's struggling. Azah's struggling. As we talk about Azah. Oh, Kai. Kai's not doing good either. Oh, who just got... Oh, that's Claire. Claire's out, but she doesn't have to worry. Claire doesn't have to worry. She has safety this week, so she doesn't have much to worry about. Someone's crying. Someone's crying and really struggling. That might be Britini? Yeah, I almost would say Claire threw that, because there was really no reason for her to win. There was really no reason for her to win. She has the safety this week, and if she wins, she kind of throws away that safety. It almost like doesn't even matter that she had it, if that makes sense. Let's catch up on some more chat here. Philly agrees with you, Ethan, about the rapping. Yeah, that was rough. That was really rough. Can you put it on full screen? Surely, again, I will be sharing it as much as I can. But I do have some rules I have to follow where it's gotta be fair use, right? Like, as long as I'm discussing it and making some commentary and not making it the whole show, I can be able to share this. But if as soon as I put it up, the whole thing, all kinds of laws and rules and regulations come into effect, and CBS just wouldn't be happy with me. Let's see. Hey, watching and listening. Hey, Three Sheets Marie, how are you? Good to see you again. What do you think of Derek F's voting misspeaking? It's 4 weeks in a row now. Yeah. So he has said that he has dyslexia. And it's not just a visual dyslexia, it's kind of an auditory one. We might get an elimination here. People are struggling. Okay, I think everybody held on. I heard some people really struggling and shaking there. Kai might be out pretty soon. Kai seems like he's having a rough go. Where was I? I was saying about what were we talking about? We were talking about Derek F's misspeaking. So yeah, apparently he has dyslexia, and it's a little bit of like an auditory dyslexia as well. And I think a little bit if it's like nerves when you're talking into a camera. It's just not easy all the time talking into a camera, especially if you're not comfortable with it. So it can be rough sometimes. So I think that's a big thing that's getting to him as well. But yeah, especially the first 2 weeks, it was like, whoa, what are you doing there, buddy? Now I kind of understand, like, you know, what his issue actually is with it. But it was a little bit funny at first. Shirley says, gotcha. Thank you for understanding. Joey, he can't show the live stream. Oh, exactly. Joey gets it. Reese and Campbell says, I hope DX wins. DX would be a pretty good person to win, I think, this week as well. Anybody follow him? We're going for another tilt. Not an extreme one yet. But we'll see. Ooh, Derek F found a rocking chair. Christian is jealous. Let's see. So JD, where do you watch the live feeds? They're on Paramount Plus. If you have Paramount Plus, you can watch them on there. Or you can just hang out here with us and I'll keep you informed on what's going on. I missed some stuff. I know I totally did. Madison, what up, Madison? Welcome on back. What have you missed? Derek F fell. And then Claire was the second person to fall. So those are the only two people who have fell so far in the competition. Other than that, you haven't missed much except for some vomiting. You can see that the Houseguests were vomited on by the shipmates. And now that I look up at the shipmates, are they anyone? Like, are they based on anyone? Like that one above Hannah kind of looks a little bit like it could be Day. Maybe. Just a little bit. But I think overall, I think they're just random people. Actually, one of them, the one above Britini there with the blonde hair and that pink shirt, that kind of looks like a friend of mine on YouTube, Kamisha Reviews. Some of you might know her. But that one with the short blonde hair above Britini, that could be a representation of her. Who knows? Everybody's hanging in there well. Everyone's hanging in there well. We're about probably half hour into this competition now. Half hour into the competition, everybody's hanging in there pretty good. Let's see. I almost think they all would listen to Tiffany. Yeah, Shirley, I agree. A lot of them would probably listen to Tiffany. Maybe the only one who wouldn't would be Sarah Beth, which again is why I think she might be an interesting person to win. Also, maybe Alyssa. Alyssa, I don't think would listen to Tiffany all the way. She would probably do her own thing as well. What that would be, I don't 100% know. I was referring to DF saying as senator as a horse. Yeah, hello there. I got you. I think, I almost think they would, listen to Tiffany. Who dropped so far? So it was Claire and Derek F. Derek F dropped first. Claire just dropped a few moments ago. Props for the Brody Lee shirt back there. Yes, Brody Lee, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Actually have little Luke Harper over here as well. Very sad when he passed away. And I'm looking forward to finally going back to a show when they do come back to my city. Let's see here. I want Hannah to win and take out Sarah Beth. Ooh, Zeno. We have a Hannah fan there. That would probably be what she would do. That would 100% probably be what she would do. Christian wanted to play this so bad. Yeah, I think he did. I think he really did. Where do we watch the feeds? Again, on Paramount Plus, you can watch them there, or hang out here, and I'll keep you updated on what's going on. Let's see here. Who's left? Everybody but Big D. I left for a couple minutes. So yeah, Big D's out, and Claire is out. So Derek F and Claire are the two people who have dropped. Let's see. Britini is next as Tony. Britini looks like she is regretting not having her goggles on. Yeah, Hermit. I think she is regretting not having those goggles on. Absolutely. Philly Dog says, wait, what? What happened? Joey says, and not free. Yeah. So the live feeds are not free. You do have to pay for them. I think it's like $5.99 is the cheapest that you can get them for. But it is a thing. Yeah, Hermit says there as well. Live feeds are over on Paramount Plus. You can keep along with us. They are struggling, Shirley. They are struggling, but they're also doing really well. They're hanging in there. Yeah, who is crying? I think it might be Sarah Beth or Azah. I think it's one of the two. Or Britini. Britini, actually, Joey. Joey, you're right. It could be Britini. She does always cry. It's Christie from BB23. That's trying to appear weak. That's possible, Shirley. It could just all be a ploy. It could be a ploy. Faith, Travis looked exactly like John B from OBX. I was kind of sad to see him go. John B from OBX. I don't know that. I don't know that. Google real quick. Outer Banks. Who was just telling me? Somebody was just telling me about this show. Someone was just telling me about this show. It might have been my sister. And you think Christian looks like him? You know what? Oh, no, Travis. You thought Travis looked like him? He did. He did. I'm looking at the picture there. Travis did look like John B from OBX. High Pod said, who's left? Everybody is still left except for Derek F. and Claire. Those are the only two who have fell. Reese and Campbell, they had you there. Why is there only 8 likes and 59 viewers? Yeah. If you're in here and you're new here, 2 things. First off, hit that like button if you're enjoying. And second off, hit that subscribe button if you're new here. Let's see. Shirley says, I mean the cookout. What do you mean the cookout? Oh, you just meant in general, like them working together? Gotcha. It would be interesting if Sarah Beth won. I'm with you, Jennifer. I think that would be the one who would cause the most chaos this week, would be Sarah Beth. Okay, guys, a little peek in there at what's going on. Not much. They're all just kind of hanging out, chilling. They've kind of brought them up a little bit. Oh, and they're getting thrown up on again. There you can see that is one of the other parts of this competition. Not just the angle they're putting them on, but the vomit getting put down on them. Look at the pool that poor Britini would have to fall into. She has so much pooled up in front of her right there. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. Shirley, yeah, I believe you can get a free trial. There are some free trials of Paramount Plus. So if you wanted to watch the live feeds right now, you probably could watch them for free for probably like a week. So now would be like the perfect time to sign up for that if you wanted to. Just make sure if you don't want to pay for it, you cancel it before that subscription ends. I think Derek X, Xavier, and Kyland will win. Kai looks like he's struggling a little bit. He's readjusting his grip a lot. And when it tilts, he struggles a good bit too. But we'll see. We'll see. Thank you for the like there. Hello there. Would listen. Oh, you're saying that the cookout would listen to Tiffany. I got you, Shirley. For final 2, I want DX and Hannah. That'd be an interesting final 2. That would be an interesting final 2. I think DX. It would be interesting to see DX go from like a target week 1 to winning the whole thing. That would be very similar to a very famous Big Brother player, Dan Giesling. He was a target in his first season, week 1, and ended up making it all the way to the end and winning. Or DX and Kyland. Yeah, those would be some interesting people to be there in the end. What was the toughest wall comp on BB? What was the toughest wall comp on BB? You know what I felt like was a really tough one? It was one that we kind of mentioned earlier when we were talking about Matt Hoffman in BB12. They were on surfboards, and the boards actually moved, like, in and out. So you couldn't just stand there and hold on. You actually had to, like, move along, like, back and forth with it. I felt like that one was a pretty tough one. Why do you think Julie showed Whitney the royal flush fake, right, instead of the cookout real? That is a good question, why she didn't show them. And again, she's going to find it all out eventually. Oh, 2 people just went down. 2 people just went down. Was that Sarah Beth? No, that was Hannah. Hannah and Sarah Beth, both of them have gone down. Hannah and Sarah Beth have been eliminated. Sarah Beth and Hannah have been eliminated. Claire believes that the first 4 that fell are going to be the have-not, which usually is how it goes. First people to fall are usually the have-nots, but they usually announce that too. They usually say when somebody's going to be the have-not or not. But yeah, Tony asks, that is interesting on why they showed her the royal flush and not the cookout. I'm not 100% sure. Joey says free trial is a week, but you have to sign up and give them all of your info, credit card number. I ain't giving them all my info to get emails from them and risk getting charged. Yeah, no, I feel you, Joey. I feel you. And I don't even know if you can use things like privacy. Privacy, if you don't know, it's like it gives you like pretty much like a temporary credit card number that you can use and put like a limit on how much it can use and stuff like that. That is a potential way to go if you wanted to try. If you pay for at least a month of Paramount Plus and try and cancel, they will give you 1 month free. Only works the first time you try and cancel, though. Yes, Hermit. They usually do try and convince you to stay and give you like another month free. And yeah, like Hermit said, they don't really spam your email too bad. Hannah was pushed since Ethan. she was pushed. Somebody reached through and they pushed her right off. Oh, interesting. Hannah and Sarah Beth went down. Yeah, they both went down, and they both went down around the same time. So Sarah Beth was probably the pick that I thought would be the most interesting to win. Now at this point, I feel like Kai would be somebody I would like to see win. Azah would be somebody who would be interesting to win, as well as Derek X. Really, everybody would be interesting to see win. Although I think Xavier would just go with Sarah Beth and try and get her out, potentially, because that would be what Tiffany would want. And I don't think Tiffany wants to win this. I think Tiffany might throw this, but we'll see. Hannah was probably waiting for Sarah Beth to drop. Probably. I didn't 100% see who fell first. They both fell almost simultaneously. Hello there. If you could play any season of BB past or present, what one? Oh, like if I could like put myself in a season? What season? That's a good question. Let me get back to that. Faith, do you think that the old teams are still going to stay aligned, or are they all going to go off on their own? That's why I'm a little hesitant to get rid of them over on our board. Is I feel like the lines are going to be blurred, but I think they still might work together. Although the only alliance that I know for sure is solid is the cookout. Like they are still tight, and I don't see them separating and moving off from each other anytime soon. I think Derek X has a good shot at this. I agree, Riley. I agree. I think Joey agrees with you there too. And Philly says, I kind of don't like Tiffany. I understand what you're saying, Philly. Tiffany grew on me real quick. Preseason, we didn't get a lot of information from her for her bio, from the like the video interviews that they did with like US Magazine or whatever it was. We didn't have a lot to go on with Tiffany. But by the end of week 1, week 2, I became a really big fan of Tiffany. I can see them slowly starting to try and make her the villain, right? She might be pushed into that villain role with the edit. We'll see how this goes. Christian could not get DF's walk. Yeah, Faith. He could not get that walk down. He I said earlier looked like he was Weekend at Bernie's. He had the glasses on. He was like, I'm walking it out. Xavier, I think Xavier nailed it though when he said he looked like Salt Bae. He looked a lot like Salt Bae. Let's give you guys a full screen now that I've finally caught up on chat. It took me quite a minute, but I finally was able to get to the end of the chat. So let's reward everyone, with a full screen view of what's going on, what it looks like. This is the competition. It's a wall comp. People who have fell, it was Derek F., Claire, and then Sarah Beth and Hannah fell almost at the same time. So the two of them went down together. We pretty much have Britini, Alyssa, Derek X, Kyland, Tiffany, Azah, and Xavier all left up there on the wall. Who will be HOH? We are going to stay here live until we find out who the winner is. We'll be giving you peeks throughout the night of what's going on. I can't show it the whole time, but I will show as much of it as I can and keep you updated on everything that is going on in the competition. Hoops says, I really like Tiffany, but I can't understand why people don't like her if they don't understand the cookout idea. I agree. I've seen a lot of hate from some people about the cookout. And here's my opinion on it, right? Because a lot of people think it's and I don't even want to say it, but a lot of people think it's one thing when I really don't think it's that bad, right? Like, and I also don't agree with some of the people's defense of it either, where they're like, well, all the other ones were all one race, right? And it's like, it's not even really about that. It's they just connect, right? Like they all know, like, hey, we got each other, period, the end, right? And that's it. And they all play the game really well. They're all really smart. The only one who I would say in the cookout that's not that great at the game, Derek F. And even Azah. I think Azah has a good brain for it. She just doesn't agree with all the decisions, right? Like, I think Azah knows there's things that have to happen. But the only time that I ever went, Azah, what are you doing? Was when she was like, put me on the block. Like, right? Like, no. Just put Britini on the block. Let a Britini go. Like, it's fine. Amanda's asking who's still up. So we've got Britini, Alyssa, Derek X, Kyland, Tiffany, Azah, and Xavier. Derek F fell first. Claire went after him. Sarah Beth and Hannah fell afterwards. So those are the only 4 people that are out. I actually should probably have a graphic of who's up and who's left. Maybe I'll work on that after I catch up on a little bit of this here. But yeah, I'm with you, Hoops. I think people are over. They're going a little crazy with the whole idea on what the cookout actually is, and I think there's nothing wrong with it. I think it's actually refreshing to kind of see, because again, when do you ever see an alliance like this in Big Brother? It's one of the reasons why Big Brother Over the Top is one of my favorites, because it was the time we got to see an actual all girls alliance, the Ball Smashers, actually do something. And it's different. It changes things up. It's the one thing about like that. Oh, I don't know what they're laughing at, but they're laughing at something. But it's like it's stuff that you don't see all the time, right? So again, like I was really happy to see an all-girls alliance finally succeed in Big Brother Over the Top. Just like I'm glad to see this happen now, because it's not something that we get to see, and it's the one thing I kind of agreed with Frenchie, is that as a fan, you want to see different stuff happen. It's why we've been screaming for diversity in the cast for so long, because it's always the same thing. And it's not just diversity in race, it's diversity in age. I wish they would have done a little bit better with that, a little bit better with the age diversity. But we want to see different people from different backgrounds, from different walks of life, all getting forced to work and live in a house together, and then have to eliminate each other, and what happens. So I agree with you. I don't know why people get all worked up about it. I will say I do understand why people are starting not to like Tiffany now, is because people don't like to like the people that are in charge. People always want to root for the underdog a little bit, and Tiffany is in charge. The Azah and Hannah drama would be what pulls the group apart. What's that with Azah acting like Hannah isn't part of the cookout? I agree, Joey. That was the thing. Well, she's part of the cookout, but originally the cookout was actually 4. It was Azah, Derek F, Tiffany, and Xavier. Then they brought in Kai, and then they brought in Hannah. And they actually were like talking about like maybe getting rid of Kai there in the first like week. But they did end up going like, no, let's just bring them all in. It's better to have 6, right, than just a 4 or 5. So that could be something that drives a wedge in going forward on what actually happens with the cookout. We'll see. Reese Campbell says, I really liked Frenchie at first, but after everything he did, I was so ready for Exactly. He seemed like he was in there to play hard. He just played a little too hard. It was Frenchie's fun house. And the one thing I will say about Frenchie, he gave us a very, very entertaining first 2 weeks. Especially on the feeds. It was a lot of fun. Tiffany has an abrasive personality. She gets she's got a great game plan though for the next few weeks. I'd even say Tiffany has a very good personality, a very welcoming personality, but she also doesn't take any crap, right? Like she will be abrasive when she has to, right? Like we saw that in the episode tonight with the whole like good morning thing and her not being recognized there. Yeah, Amanda, Hannah is out. She's not in there. I'm cheering for Britini to win, says 3 Sheets Marie. Remember the BB21 Jess fell? Ah! There's a great video on YouTube. Somebody edited it together of her like just falling out of everything, like falling out of an airplane, falling off a cliff, like all just kind of stuff. It's great. Who fell so far, Luke? It was Derek F, Claire, Hannah, and Sarah Beth. Those are the 4 who have fell. Everybody else is still in there. Brittany Haynes wins. Brittany Haynes wins BB23. Oh, Ethan, you're killing me. Philly says BRB, taking a shower and coming back. Yeah, do your thing, man. Come on back. We'll probably be here for a while. There are still, 4, 5, 6, 7 people up on that wall. So we might be here for a while. To me, this is a season of cool kids table not running the show. Yeah, right? Like, it's not the same old stuff we've seen before. And I also think it's going to start getting a little bit messy here, right? Because people are going to have to pick sides. The line in the sand's going to be drawn here and soon. So I'm all for it. I think it's going to be real fun going forward this season. I live in a land of delusion, by the way. Ethan, I love it. I'm here for it. I'll give you guys another little peek here. Because who doesn't love to see the house gets thrown up on? Who doesn't love to see some throw up on them? Xavier getting a headshot right there, too. Derek X is just like, nah, you know what? Bring it on. I'm taking it in. He's like, give me more. He literally just said, I want all the smoke. I want it all. I love Derek X. He's hilarious. Ooh. That's a steep one right here. We could see somebody fall here. Everyone's looking pretty good, though. Everyone's looking pretty good. Britt looks like she's struggling a little bit. Just a little bit. I feel like Azah doesn't like Hannah because Azah has a crush on DX2. Apparently, Azah might have a crush on everybody. She does like Xavier. That is a thing, Luke. But maybe she has a crush on DX2. Who knows? All the farm references he made. Yeah, Frenchie. It was a lot. I thought tonight's episode, the cookout went up to 11 people, which is jury. So with the cookout, like they're set on being the final 6. Like they want to be the last ones in the house. Faye says, Frenchie made a lot of enemies very fast. Yes. And he promised everybody safety too. He overpromised and underdelivered on a lot. I think he would have been able to make it far if we had stayed under the radar a little bit, but because he really knew the game. Yeah, Faith, I agree, right? And what it was he knew the game so well that he got inside his own head and wanted to play too hard. Zeno, nobody has won yet. Everybody is still in it except for Derek F, Claire, Hannah, and Sarah Beth. Those 4 have been eliminated. DX is my favorite. I doubt he would win because of how much of a threat he has been. He probably wouldn't want to win, but he's looking pretty good right now. He's looking pretty good right now. Let's see. They have him leaning here. Will somebody drop? Kai looks like he's struggling. Kai's shaking. Kai's out. Kai is out. He has been eliminated. Kai is out of the competition. That makes it Derek F, Claire, Sarah Beth, Hannah, and Kai who have been eliminated. It is not looking good for Sarah Beth this week. It is not looking good. To be honest, I'm surprised Britini is still up there. I agree, right? I agree. Watching from Canada, says Michael. Welcome. Welcome for and joining us. Thank you for joining us. Let's see, where was I? Britini's been struggling since minute 1. She's of such a mess. She is, but you know what? She's in there. She's in there and she's committed. She wants to win this. Abby, has somebody won yet? Not yet. We still have pretty much everybody in except for Derek F, Claire, Sarah Beth, Hannah, and now Kai. Just fell just a moment ago. I'm so dang glad Frenchie's gone. Reese says not yet. Frenchie is a prime example of shooting yourself in the foot, knees, chin, and Ethan, you're killing me here. Loving it. Love it. Zeno, I meant like win the whole game. He won't win the whole game because of how much. Yeah, that's true. That's true. He's definitely got a big target on his back. Tiffany has him on her short list of people she wants to see go. Riley says, you're a real one for streaming this. Hey, I am here for you guys, and I will not go off until we find out who the HOH is. Abby says, I'm also watching from Canada. Let's go. Let's go. Gotta reload my live feeds here every so often. Gotta reload them. I use a extension, BB Viewer. I don't know if anybody is aware of what BB Viewer is. It's an extension for your browser, and it just in general makes the live feeds better. It lets you kind of switch the audio from left and right when you have the quad cams on. It gives you a really easy way to take screenshots. It's got a lot of little features that are nice with it, that really just make the whole viewing experience a lot better. In fact, let me see here. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Let's see if I can get this to load and show you guys some of the features of BB Viewer, which are really nice. As I reload my feeds here. Let's see. Yeah, so let me share here with you guys. As you can see with BB Viewer, I'm covering it up a little bit, but you can actually see it's got like a little side panel here where you can see all of the cast members, who the current HOH is. Christian was the current one from last week, who had team safety, the wild card winners, the nominees. There's like a history of like what happened each week. It's got all the house guests here and like some of who their alliances are and things like that. It's even got some of the alliance charts. It doesn't include mine yet. Liquid, you got to get on that. Start including my chart in there as well. And you can also punch. We can punch Frenchie in the face if you wanted to do so. But it's BB Viewer, the extension for your browser, and it lets you do all kinds of great stuff. As you can see, you can even add like a gain boost so that it's a little bit louder, you know, like when they're whispering. This helps it be able to hear what's going on better. There's bookmarks with different timestamps, like Sarah Beth talks to the cam, has to throw the HOH and be a floater. Probably wasn't the best strategy, Sarah Beth, because you might be a target this upcoming week. So yeah, BB Viewer, it's an extension for your browser. A very cool extension to have if you were watching the live feeds. Ooh, someone's shivering. Someone's shivering hard. Is that Azah? It's either Azah or Britini. One of them are shivering. Let's see. Where am I at here? Gray says, thank you for the stream. You are welcome. You're welcome. Anybody, if you are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also, we have about 60 people here. Hit that like button. If you haven't hit that like button already, I really appreciate it if you are enjoying the stream. Zeno says, Tiffany is underrated. She is super smart, and I won't be surprised if she wins. I would actually say Tiffany is very highly rated. I think a lot of people are very aware of how good Tiffany is. And she was somebody in the beginning of the game, right? Like the first few weeks, I did not think was going to be that big of a player, but she grew on me very, very quick. Very, very quick. I feel like Xavier is in a really good spot in the house. I agree. I really like Xavier a lot as well. Easton says he's watching from Michigan. All right, from Michigan. Risa Campbell, I could see Tiff winning. She is really smart. I agree, but I feel like at some point they're gonna know that we gotta get rid of her. And they were talking about week 1 of how well liked she is. So we'll see how long she can actually stay. Brittany wrote it up before this, Ethan. I love it, Ethan. I love it. Frenchie honestly had what it took to win, but he played way too hard. Yeah, I agree. Played too hard of a game. Just a little further down the line, he could have made it far. I agree. He just went way too hard. You love the punching of the Frenchie, Joey? Will you be saving this stream? Yes, this stream will be up for you to view afterwards as well. I'm very surprised that how hard Sarah Beth was gunning for Hannah, yet voted for Whit. I think it was one of those things where she just knew. She just knew that it didn't matter if she voted for Hannah, right? The votes weren't there. So why throw that vote and then people are going to know that you went against the house? Amoto, I believe is how you would say that name. Oh, welcome back, Philly. Yeah, I don't know if you saw, but Kai fell. Kai was one of the people that fell. Frenchie's HOH was terrible. Oh, they are leaning really far. Oh, and there goes Britini. Britini is down. Anybody else? Everybody else is holding strong, but Britini is out of the competition. We are down to Alyssa, Derek X, Tiffany, Azah, and Xavier. Oh, are they going for another dip? Maybe not. I think they're giving themselves a little bit of a break. I really want Whitney to come back in a comp. Sadly, Robert, not going to happen, I don't think. Everybody who was pre-jury, they are home. I don't think there's going to be a battle back with them. If Sarah Beth voted Hannah, it was going to cause controversy in the house, and everybody knows that Hannah is Sarah Beth's #1 target, so that would make her exactly Zeno. That's why she didn't vote for her. She just knew that it didn't matter. Why go against the house? I guess, yeah, don't want to throw... Yeah, exactly. You don't want to just throw a rogue vote when people are going to know it's you, because it's like, well, you become a big target. Cardi's B's Ghost Raider has fallen. Ethan, just coming with the bangers. I love it. And you don't say my name right, just letting... All right, so how do you say it? Motayo? Amayoto. Amateo? Omateo? No? I'm so sorry. Omo? Can I call you Omo? Omoteo? No? Oh no, I'm so bad with this. Can you give me like a phonetic pronunciation? Is it Omo? Omo is okay? I'm sorry. I'm terrible with the names. Who would be your ideal final two this season? Ideal final two. I think it may be Xavier and Kai. I really like them too. If not Xavier and Kai, maybe replace one of them with Claire or Derek X. Tiffany's a close one too, but I just don't think she's going to make it. I just don't think she's going to make it to the final two. I think she's going to get taken out before that. She's probably the best player, Tiffany, but I just don't see her being able to make it. Let's see here. I'm rooting for Azah, not gonna lie. She is the only person that could take a shot at Sarah Beth because of the royal flush. That's kind of true. That's kind of true. When does jury start? I think after this week. Whoever leaves this week will be the last person not in jury. And then after that, jury will start. Because Claire had safety for 2 weeks, and that made her a jury member. She's the first member of the jury, technically. Though, not technically the first member, but she's the first person to make jury, if that makes sense. I really don't want Claire to be like Netta and get evicted right after immunity and be juror number one. Yeah, Robert, that could happen. It could happen. Anybody who's not familiar with Netta from BB Can 5, she got immunity, and then the second that her immunity was gone, boom, she was taken out. But the thing was with Netta, it got to her head. It got to her head real quick, and she started to become a villain, and people didn't like that, and that's why they ended up going for her. Was so funny that Azah voted for Whit to go just because she had a crush on X. Yeah, you know, it's a thing. Oh, they're leaning them again. They're leaning them far. Will somebody drop? We will see. Yeah, she's got that middle school crush, Azah, on Xavier. I heard this season is being called the new era. Yeah, I've heard that too. Hello there. And I kind of agree. I technically say I think the new era started last season. The way they're editing the show, the way they're presenting the show, really feels different and a little bit more refreshing. There are some things I could nitpick about, but overall, I think they are doing a really good job of making an effort to change the show for the better. And then with the new cast, it was way more diverse. We had a new casting director this season. He's actually the casting director who was in charge of Big Brother Over the Top, which is one of my favorite casts of any Big Brother seasons. He also works with Survivor and their casting process a lot. So yeah, this has kind of been a new era, is what people are saying about this season. Didn't that also happen with Jessica? What also happened with Jessica? About being immune and then getting evicted right away? Potentially. Michael says, subscribe. My daughter wants to know who you'd like to see evicted next. It's tough because I really like this whole cast. I really do. I don't know if I necessarily want to see them evicted next, but who I think is going to be evicted next will be Sarah Beth. Again, depending on who wins HOH here. If Alyssa wins HOH, maybe things change, but I think it could be Sarah Beth. Ika shredding the letters from home was, oh yes, Ethan, that was amazing. I have a video on my channel about memorable moments in Big Brother Canada history that I did just before season 9. And that was definitely on there. I like the addition of the teams. Yeah, it changed the dynamic, right? It really made it where you couldn't target certain people, right? And that was kind of a nice addition, especially in BB Can. In BB Can, they had teams as well, and that really split the house early, and that was kind of nice. Ever since Julie started making a point to say Julie Chen, Moonves, it's been different vibes. Yeah, I agree, Abby. I agree. It's 2021, so yeah, gotta show some new things. Exactly. You gotta change it up. You gotta make it different. Jessica had the haunting hex and gave her a few weeks of protection, but then got evicted when it was done. Oh yeah, BB19. Yeah, that's true. A lot of people had safety though in BB19 with the whole friendship thing and all that. That was a thing. So who's left? We have Alyssa. We have Derek X, Tiffany, Azah, and Xavier. Those are your 5 people left in the competition. Alyssa and Derek X are having a little competition. I don't know what that was all about, but they were having a little conversation there. Tiffany getting wobbly a little bit. She's getting a little shaky in the legs. You can see it. Derek X is not a fan of yoga. Could have been a deal. Could have been a deal they were trying to make. If you could create a special season, what would it be? Can't be an all-star season. 100% second chance. People who were evicted first. People who like didn't even really get a chance in the house. Like people like Cameron from BB19. We were just talking about that. People like Jody from BB14. I always forget Brian. I think it was Brian in BB10 who was evicted like first. It was like him and Dan up on the block, and Brian got evicted first. A second chance season. That would be like my special season that wasn't an all-stars, but was like a special kind of a thing. I'm not so happy about day 44 on BB21. Yeah, BB21 was probably my least favorite Big Brother season of all time. I'm not gonna lie, I stopped watching it live. I went back and finished it. It was really, I did not like it much. I don't mind anyone winning besides Alyssa. I don't want her winning. I could see that, Nicole, because you don't want the power to stay with Christian and Alyssa, right? And the Kings kind of want to see things get switched up. Do you watch BB UK? Rip Nikki. Yes, so sad about Nikki. Nikki was also on BB Can 4, and that was really, really good season. Nikki was hilarious. Very, very sad to see her go. She was an icon in BB UK. I don't watch too much of BB UK. I have seen a lot of the celebrity seasons. But yeah, very, very sad to see Nikki go. Let's see. No, you said you were happy. Oh, you were happy about the day 44 on BB21. What happened on day 44 BB21? Second chance, can't forget cornbread. Cornbread, yeah, you can have cornbread in there. You can have cornbread in there for a second chance as the Houseguests get thrown up on here. Eric Stein, yes, Eric Stein deserves a second chance to actually play this time, to actually play again, right? Like, he didn't even get a chance to play. I wonder if Alyssa won, if she'd be different in power. Potentially. I feel like she would... Oh, Azah. Azah's gone. Azah is gone. Oh, Alyssa. Alyssa's struggling. We are down to 4. Alyssa, Derek X, Tiffany, and Xavier. I honestly thought Tiffany would end up throwing this, but I think she's still waiting for Alyssa to drop. I think she wants Alyssa and Derek X drop, and then she would maybe drop. But we'll see. X muscles in his arms they gotta be hurting. They gotta be hurting, but he's hanging in there. Oh, that's when Grateful broke up. Yes, they did not last. Grateful. What a terrible alliance. Yeah, I'm tired of them controlling the house. Yeah, the Kings. What about House of Crazies? Nothing but just crazy players. Like Crazy James, get Crazy James in there. Josh, get Evil Dick, Rachel Riley. That would be pretty entertaining. So Philly, Nikki, she suffered from anorexia, and it was something that she struggled with a really long time. And sadly, she wasn't able to pull through, and she passed away. Very sad to hear about Nikki. She was such an hilarious person, and very, very sad to see her go. And there goes Tiffany. Tiffany is gone. Tiffany's eliminated. We're down to 3. Alyssa, Derek X, and Xavier. Those are the only 3 left in the competition. Let's see. If Alyssa wins, Hannah is going home most likely. Potentially could go home. Do you remember when Tommy and Mickey had that fight? I don't remember exactly their. Oh wait, was that like around like final 6? Was that after Jackson went home? Was that after he went home? BB UK is so different from BB US. My first ever BB season was a UK one, and I was expecting US. Oh yeah, it's so different, so different. But it's fun in its own way. It's got its own little things that make it fun. Does he have that, or was it hepatitis or something? Philly, I forget exactly what he has, but yeah, he probably wouldn't be back on. I don't think he would want to come back on anyway. Chicken George, yeah, bring Chicken George back. I'd love to see him back. He was great. Derek X or Xavier, you're going for Easton. They'd be some pretty good ones. House of Crazies would be amazing. And did you know the girl from BB Can 1, Cassandra? Really? Or BB1 and BB2? I did not know that. Oh, that's terrible. That's terrible. Yeah, BB1 was such a different season as well. That was my first BB season. All the way back when they had a pug named Chiquita. Yeah, very sad. Very sad to hear about different alumni who are no longer with us. But you know what? That's what kind of keep their memory alive, right? By being fans of the show and remembering them for all the great stuff they did inside the house and the great moments they gave us and the entertainment. There's a kind of a saying that you're never truly gone until people finally stop talking about you. So as fans, as long as we keep talking about them, we keep them in our memory, remember all the good times, they'll still always be with us. Zeno really wanted Tiffany to win. Yeah, she is gone though. It's down to Xavier, Alyssa, and Derek X. Those are our last 3. Who is your favorite showmance in BB history? Favorite showmance in BB history. That's a tough one. I was a big fan of Jeff and Jordan on their first season. They were a lot of fun. But of all time, favorite showmance? You know what? BB15. The guy who was evicted first, what was it? And the crazy girl from Jersey. That was my favorite showmance. That was my favorite showmance, that one. She was so upset by someone she only knew for like 7 days. Yeah, Tiff is gone. We are down to Alyssa, Derek X, and Xavier. Those are our final 3. I'll head over here for the full screen as they give him a dip. Xavier looks like he's struggling. DX and Alyssa look. Oh, Alyssa. Oh. She's so close to going. She's gone. We're down to Derek X and Xavier. Our final 2. Derek X and Xavier. Alyssa is very upset that she fell. But she did a great job. I was really impressed with almost everybody so far. Almost everybody did a really, really good job in this competition. Final 2. We are down to our final 2. The Battle of the X's. Xavier and Derek F, they're already like, hey, let's talk about this. Derek X is like, yo, I got Kanye in my basket. That's going to be my music. You've already had it once. Let me have this. He's got a 10-ounce ribeye he's got coming in his basket, he says. Sour Patch Kids. He's listing off all the things he put in his basket. Flamin' Hot Cheetos. Ben & Jerry's half-baked. DX is making a strong case here for Xavier to drop. They want to know if they can get closer. I think they're trying to make a deal. We're almost there. We are almost there, people. I know I missed a lot in chat. Let's see. Did my Dream Alliance, Dan Giesling, Paul, and Vanessa. Ooh, they would be strong. They'd be strong. Who went home? Whitney went home. We're down to Derek X and Xavier. Those are our final two up there on the wall. Winston and Rachel deserve a second chance. I would like to see them get a second chance. Yeah. There goes Xavier. Derek X. Derek X is your HOH. And Hannah runs on over. Huge hug. Derek X is your HOH this week. Tiffany excited. Down goes. They're in the slop. They're in the sludge. Derek X is your HOH for the week. It was about hour 20. 1 hour and 20 minutes up on the wall. Just about. That's how long that competition went. Let's see. Let's catch up on some chat here. I kind of wanted Alyssa to win. Jason from 18 and OTT was hilarious. Yeah, Jason was a good one. He was a smart one too. Him and Day were able to figure out the Oz twins. Well, not Oz twins, but the Nolan twins. The Oz twins was Austin and the Nolan twins together. But they figured out the twins pretty quickly. I want to see you in the house so bad. Oh, thank you, Morgan. Thank you. Cody and Jessica, they were a good one. They are married, I believe, with kids now, too. At least one kid. Winston needs a second chance. I did like Winston. Winston and, who was the other one? Was his name Brent? What was his name on 20 that him and Winston were really, really good friends? And he had the hilarious line during Hide and Go Veto about defense winning championships. And he would just pile stuff on his hidden veto the whole time. Tyler and I forget her name. Oh, Tyler and Angela. Yep, they were a good showmans. Jeff and Jordan were a good showmans. Eric and Jessica, yeah. Alyssa's gone. DX is a god. Bye, girl. Come on, DX. Easton says he called it. Let's go DX. Everybody's really excited for DX. There were some Xavier fans. Some Xavier people wanted to see him win. Hold on, DX. It'd be funny to see DX become HOH after Hannah said they never won HOH. Yep. And she was the first one over there hugging him. First one over there. Who is your prediction to win now that it's final two? Well, we already know DX won, but I thought Xavier might be able to pull that one out, but they did start trying to make some deals early. At man, DX eats good. Yeah, right? With the ribeye, Flamin' Hot Cheetos, the half-baked, Ben & Jerry's half-baked. Please drop X, you want HOH. Yeah, that's what DX said. He's like, you already had one. Don't be greedy. Don't be greedy. Yeah, their hug was great, Nicole. Mia, it's not like they're actually dating, but there is like a flirtmance there. They do kind of have a little bit of a thing going. Whether it's an actual showmance or not, we'll see. He's kind of out there on an island with lots of, yeah, right? Like he's got like the detectives, he's in the royal flush, but how strong are those alliances? We'll see. Also, Will he want to go after Sarah Beth? Sarah Beth was wanting to go after Hannah, and he's really close with Hannah, so maybe. You better bet Christian and maybe it will be Christian and Alyssa up on the block, but I still feel like Tiffany's gonna want to push to get Sarah Beth out. I think that's her main objective. Just make out already. Reese is happy. Thanks for the live feed. You are welcome, Deborah. House of Runner-Ups. Yeah, that would be a good one, Easton. House of Runner-Ups. Brett. Thank you, Robert. That was his name from BB23. Him and Brett and Winston. They were a pretty cool duo. Sarah Beth and Alyssa are going up. Probably Pretty Lady. That might be who the nominations are, with Christian as like a backup, backdoor possibility. No way DX will put up anyone in the Royal Flush. Maybe not. We'll see how it goes. Tiffany definitely wants Sarah Beth as the target. And I mean, who else would Derek X put up? Right? If it's not somebody in the Royal Flush, that leaves Britini, and that leaves Azah and Derek F. Like, he doesn't have many options. That hug from Hannah was perfect for the cookouts pawn plan. Yeah, right? Like, that is pretty good. And you're welcome, Mr. Gus, for the stream. Anyone, again, if you were new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button if you enjoyed. Victoria and Final 3 is my favorite showmance. Do you think Hannah is using DX? Maybe. We'll see. 3 Sheets Marie, if you're out, thank you for sticking around. Hope you enjoyed. The Royal Flush might look like the biggest lines, but the cookout's going to run the house. I agree, Zeno. The cookout they're the ones really running the show. Hannah and DX could definitely be my favorite showmans if they end up starting a thing, right? They'd be a good one. Love and Hannah and DX. Who do you think DX is going to target? Again, I don't know, because he doesn't have many options, right? If he goes after the Royal Flush, I could see him putting Sarah Beth up because that's what Tiffany wants, and Sarah Beth was going after Hannah. But again, if he doesn't go after somebody in the cookout, that only leaves Britini, Azah, and Derek F, and they're not going to want Azah and Derek F up, the people in the cookout. So I don't know. I don't know where he's going to go. Hannah and Derek X could be starting a thing. Yes, Derek X, he is our HOH. He is the winner, Philly dog. I don't know. I just feel like Derek wouldn't make big moves, but I could be so wrong. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who's going to really target, because again, he doesn't have many options not in the Royal Flush, and this could be the week that the Royal Flush kind of blows up. We'll see. Colin says rooting for Derek X. Caden says Brent. Yes, Brett is who I was thinking of earlier. I don't think Hannah is using DX because they became close before the cookout. So Hannah was kind of pulled into the cookout week 1, but yeah, they definitely did become pretty close along the way. Cookout is controlling from the shadows. Exactly, Zeno. Exactly. Sarah Beth and Alyssa should go up, then backdoor Christian. Yeah, Mike, that's probably my best guess on what he'll do, but we'll see. It's going to be interesting tonight on the feeds to see what ends up happening. So why didn't Derek F win? Well, he was out first. DX promised not to put up Alyssa before she dropped. Ooh. And then in that case, it's like, who does he put up? Britini, maybe? Britini and Sarah Beth? I feel like the Royal Flush is done now that the teams are over. Probably. Do you think there will be a battle back? I'm not sure. If there will, it'll be a jury battle back, which again, I'm not exactly a huge fan of, because I don't like when they go into the jury house and they can all just share notes and then get to go back in the house. I almost wish they were like sequestered individually and then the battle back happened. But at the same time, that is usually the best way for the jury member to make it farther, is when they have all that information. But yeah, they didn't have a battle back last season because of the whole COVID restrictions. They've eased up on them a little bit, but they are still doing a lot of, procedures to protect from COVID. So it'll be interesting to see if there actually is a battle back or not. Christian doing those burpees just proves those backflipping burpees, those were insane. That he needs to be backdoored, but I'm pushing for Sarah Beth or Alyssa to go home. Yeah, I think those are maybe like the three people that it could be. Maybe with Brittany being thrown in there as well. Brittany and Sarah Beth would be his best. Yeah, Zeno, right? Those four are probably the only ones that he really has the option of putting up that aren't like aligned with him in some way, right? Will there be a double evictions next week? I don't think it's next week. I hope there is one this season though. Absolutely. I love a good double eviction. Those are always fun nights here on the stream. Brittany is the Victoria, beat the record for most times being used as a pawn. Caden, you know who might beat that? I don't know for sure, but AJ from season 1 of BB Can. He literally had the name of Pawn Star. AJ goes up on the block because AJ is the man. He always referred to himself in the third person. Julie told the evicted players details about the game. So yeah, definitely not a pre-one. Travis is already home in Hawaii. Brent actually, I think, was doing a live stream or a blog with Travis the other day. So yeah, they're not coming back. If the battle back happens, and DX is in jury, tough luck. Yeah, DX would probably win that battle back. Most definitely. He would give a really good shot. When do you think the double or... oh, man, if they did a triple eviction again this season, that would be amazing. I think they might hold off on the triple eviction, though. That might be something they bring back a little bit later, like 2 seasons down the line or something. None of those are already out. Could battle back. They've gotten all the info from Julie. They're all at home. They're out of sequester, so there's not even a chance. Luke Derek X won the HOH. It came down to him and Xavier was the last one to drop. So Derek X is your HOH. I'm starting not to like Sarah Beth. She wanted Hannah out so bad, and her reasonings were so dumb. She says she's too smart, but she hasn't shown anything. So kind of the reason why is they also think she's just really good socially as well. So that was kind of a thing. They really thought that she would be a threat going forward. And I could see your reasonings for it, but yeah, things are getting messy. They're getting real messy because all these alliances are so intertwined. It's going to start getting really interesting in these next couple of weeks. Maybe a triple eviction may happen near final 9, so we would leave at 6 just a double. That would probably be a good time. That would probably be a good time for it, right around final 9. Next is going to be a quadruple eviction. Just half the house goes in one night. That would be fantastic. I think Sarah Beth might go because Claire told Derek X that Sarah Beth almost yelling at her about how she wanted Hannah out. Yeah, that the fact that Sarah Beth wanted Hannah out so bad could be the death nail. I'm begging for a DA one only season. For the one and only season. I'm begging for the one and only season. Oh, Devon. Yeah, she'd be fun to kind of bring back. She keeps improving. Every time she comes on, she gets better and better, right? So maybe the next time will be the one she wins. Sarah Beth was getting really good, but it's falling apart now because her aggression. Yeah, she went way hard trying to get Hannah as the target. The biggest problem was she didn't realize how close Xavier was to Hannah, right, with the cookout. So by pushing that to Xavier, that exposed it to everything else. Is Xavier going to make a baby with Azah? No, I don't think so. I think Xavier is just friends. It's just a friendship with Azah. I don't think they're going to be a full-on showmance, no. Sarah Beth had plenty of valid reasons to want Hannah out. She is way bigger threat than Whitney to win a comp, and has a way better social game. People were gaslighting Sarah Beth all week. Yes, I agree. To Tonius. I agree. She, especially against Whitney, it did make there were a lot of really good points to get Hannah out over Whitney. but the cookout just they did their job of making sure the cookout was safe. Victoria was a mastermind. Derek was the coaster. Astro, what up, Astro? How are you? We just saw Derek X win the HOH competition. Came down to him and Xavier. Victoria for the next All-Stars. Christian going home. He might be the backdoor plan, right? If Sarah Beth would happen to win veto. My most interesting thing that I want to see happen is what's going to happen with Kai. Will Kai try and save Sarah Beth? And how hard will he push to try and save Sarah Beth? Sarah Beth was completely right for wanting to get Hannah out, but tried too hard, and that was her downfall. Although I do like Hannah, I'm so glad she didn't get it. Nicole, I think I'm right there with you. And here's my struggle. Normally, there's someone I hate. Normally, there's someone that's like, yes, that's who I want evicted. Not this season. I do not know. I do not know who is my least favorite house guest, because all the people I didn't necessarily like are already gone. And this cast is so likable and so good. I don't want really any of them to leave. And this is kind of a first for me. I don't have any one person that I'm like, yes, I want them gone, because I kind of like them all. I got a question. Did Whitney hug Derek? You know what? I know they got into it a bit. I did not see, but I assume she did. I'm not gonna show that one. First time being here. Everything is solid on what you got going on. Got yourself a new watcher. Well, welcome on in, King Caden. Welcome on in. I'm glad you enjoyed it. If you are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that like button if you enjoyed the stream. You can also follow me over on Twitter. It's probably the best place to keep up with everything going on in the Ori Streams universe. Another great thing to follow is my Twitch channel. Not only do I stream here, but every so often I stream over on Twitch, video games and the like. With some people you might recognize. I am actually a mod for Capone Gaming, aka Bruno from BB 3 and 5. I also play a lot of games with Alex O from BB23. We play a lot of things like Goose Goose Duck and just hang out in their chats and stuff like that. So you can also follow me over on Twitch as well. Let's see, what did I miss here? Yes, I loved everyone in this season except I couldn't like Brent's. Yeah, Brent was the only one that I really didn't like. What, you hated Paul? Like Paul OG. Oh, Colin hated Paul. I liked Paul his first season. In BB18, Paul was one of my favorites. BB19, not so much. He was smart. That is true. I agree. I also didn't like Brent. I loved Paul. He was always my favorite. Yeah, again, Paul BB18, awesome. BB19, not so much. He had a lot of things going for him, especially production. They really liked Paul a lot. I agree. I like all the, yeah, right? Just everybody this season has been awesome. It's been one of my favorite casts in Big Brother history. I really like everybody, and it's really hard to pick a true favorite. Tiffany became a big favorite of mine early on. Kai, Xavier, Derek X really proved himself. Claire, I'm so happy we were able to get Claire. She was an alternate this season. She replaced Christie. So I'm really glad that we got to see her in the house. Definitely smart, annoying, although he's also funny. Yeah, Nicole, 100% agree. That describes Paul perfectly. Smart, annoying, and funny. That is Paul. Robert says, here are a few masterminds: Jocasta and Devin, BB16, Jason, BB17, and Steve, BB20. Devin and BB16. Yeah, don't forget Josiah. Josiah from what was that? BB9. What season was that? Was that 17? BB17, who's actually fighting in the BB Can versus BBUS boxing matches, which are taking place tomorrow. If you guys don't know, tomorrow on Fight TV is BB Can versus BBUS in boxing matches. Fessy is taking on John Party. Casey is taking on Veronica from BB Can 6. Enzo is taking on Godfrey. There's a lot of great matches going on that, and that is all taking place tomorrow. I hope Christian and Sarah Beth don't go. They're the only threats to the cookout. Yeah, they are probably the big threat to the cookout. DX might be a threat to the cookout, though, eventually. Same with Claire. And that's the thing. Tiffany recognizes that, and Tiffany wants them gone at this point. Trying to be on Big Brother. Ethan, you'd be great. Ethan, if me and you are on the show, final two deal. Final two. We got this. True BB19 was definitely not as good as BB18, but still enjoyed him. Yeah. Claire's my favorite 100%. Jocasta is my spirit animal. Enzo going to destroy in that. Yeah, Enzo versus Godfrey. That's a good one. You know what one's probably maybe fight of the night though? Michael Stubley from BB Can 8, I think he was from, and Caleb from BB16. Both military vets. Stubes was a vet in Canada, Caleb a vet in America here. Yeah, that's going to be a good one. Both of them looked ripped. And I'm really hoping that Fessy gets knocked out by John Party. And I think Josh is going to get destroyed by Adam Pike. I think he's going to get destroyed. I don't normally like alliances that run the house, but the cookout is just so perfect and I love it. I like them all too, right? And they're all really good players in their own right. It's not like it's a bunch of like weak players all just coming together to run the house. All of them are really good, and maybe Derek F and Azah are the only ones that aren't the best of players. But even Azah in her own right, she's smart. She's just a little emotional. I hope they make HOH DX choose the have-nots. He might have to choose them, or it could be the first 4 that fell. We'll see. Caleb, he was kind of creepy though. He was definitely creepy. They edited that. There was an edit that showed that off of how creepy he was. I remember there was one like where he was like staring and watching Amber like travel. Which, speaking of Amber, if anybody watches the challenge, she was a rookie on the latest season of the challenge and crushed it. She did amazing. Really good job from her. I've never heard of anybody who hated Nicole Franzel. You've never heard of anyone who hated Nicole Franzel? Robert, how much time have you spent on the internet? Because I'm pretty sure most people did not like Nicole Franzel. They liked her in BB16. In BB16, she was great. She was really smart. BB18, I think, was her second season, and that's when I think it kind of took a little bit of a turn. And then in 22, she was very much not liked. Very much not liked. Nikki versus Christie. Oh, no. Though, you know who is on that fighting? Nick Macaroni is fighting Dallas from BB Can. So that's gonna be an interesting one. If Christian and Alyssa are have-nots, I'd make Christian and Alyssa have-nots to weaken them. That'd be a pretty good call. Pretty good call. Oh, wait, myself. I got you, Robert. Robert is from an alternate universe. Hannah and DX actually are celebrating right now on the live feeds. Here, I'll show you guys before we go. They are celebrating. They were doing a little dance earlier. Look at Azah. Azah is covered in slime in the shower right there. She is absolutely covered. But yeah, congratulations to Derek X. Your HOH this season. Second person to make jury, because Claire would be the first person to make jury since she's safe this week. Derek X would be the second person to make it. I can't stand BB21 people. I'm rooting for anyone against them. Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of BB21. I stopped. It's the only season I stopped watching live. Like, I've watched every season of Big Brother, kept up with the live feeds every week, watching every episode. BB21 was the only one I stopped like halfway through. It was like, I'm not loving it. Yeah, like Nicole, it kind of was the worst cast, right? No offense to some of the good ones, like Jessica Milagros, wonderful person, wonderful human being, Jessica Milagros. But the rest of the cast, Ovi is was a good guy too. I liked Ovi. David was apparently an all-star. Nicole A was pretty cool. Cliff was cool, but about half that cast was not good. Kemi was carried. I totally love Grateful, especially Robert. Yeah, I like Kemi, Ovi, and Jess. So sad that the best characters were always, they were targeted pretty quick. I stopped BB21 and 22 at some point. I kept through with BB22. I kept on the train. I was very excited when it was announced to be All-Stars, and I stuck through it. It became very predictable about midway through of what was going to happen, and it was more of just hoping the right person won HOH to make it a little bit less predictable. What's your opinion on Frenchie, Frankie Grande gameplay-wise? I get mixed opinions about him everywhere. So here's the thing with Frankie. He was a very annoying person, right? Just overall, his personality was a bit much. Gameplay-wise, he was actually pretty smart. His biggest problems were he was going up against Derek, right? Like, and that was the thing, right? Like, anybody who Derek realized was a target became the target, and he was able to manipulate everybody else to get them out. And that was his biggest downfall. So gameplay wise, I don't think he was a bad player, right? And here's my opinion of BB16. A lot of people would say Derek played against a weak cast. I think the exact opposite, actually. Look at, not only from BB16 do you have Derek, who's a winner, you now have Nicole Franzel and Cody, who have gone on to win Big Brother in separate seasons, right? So 3 winners came from that cast. Plus, Christie was very smart that season. Donnie is a fan favorite, and was also pretty smart, in fact. Like, he had a pretty good idea of what was going on in the house. So I would say overall, it was actually a pretty strong cast. But yeah, Frankie was a little bit much. He was a little bit much personality-wise. Gameplay-wise, very smart. Hey, I finally get to see this live. Hey, Sam, how are you? Welcome on in. We've been live for a good while now. The HOH competition is over. Derek X is your HOH. He was the last one up on the wall. Xavier was the second one up there, second to last one. Came down to them as the final 2. But Derek X is your winner. I like Caitlyn, Kat. Yeah, Kat's pretty funny. Caitlyn, Catherine Kat, right? Yeah, she was good. Cliff actually has his own YouTube channel. Yeah, Cliff Notes. I catch that every so often. He keeps up on the live feeds. We need an actual All-Stars. I agree. Right? Get all the real good ones in there, the greats. I actually thought it would be really good to have a shortened celebrity style season and call it BB Legends, right? Get Daniel Reyes, get Will, get Dan, get Derek, right? Like, do it right. Do it right. Have you played the BB mobile game? You know what? I have not. I have heard that there's a potential for doing like a private house, like a lobby with people that like we all know. So that might be something that would be cool in the future. But I heard like you have to be up at like all hours, and it's like almost kind of legit. Like you got to be sometimes up at like 5 a.m. and stuff like that for a competition. So I have not jumped into it yet. Absolutely love Frankie, but I feel like he was not made for BB. Yeah, he wasn't. He was on the UK version. We were talking about BB UK. He was actually on a celebrity BB UK. Would you rather be trapped in a BB haunted house with Frenchie or Devin? Ooh. Ooh, you know what? Ooh, Devin. Because I feel like I could turn the rest of the house on Devin easier than Frenchie. I feel like I could do that. Derek is the Kim Spartian of BB. Who's Kim Spartalin? I don't know that. Let's see. Oh, from Survivor, that Kim. Yeah. Yeah. I could see that. I could see that. That's a good comparison, Sam. That's a good comparison. Speaking the truth, yeah, Evan agrees. Evan agrees. Is your feed updates live? So I haven't really done them live. I usually do like a little recording like early in the mornings. And I've been a little lax on them for the past like 2 weeks. So I do need to get back into doing them. And they will be happening. Are the live feeds down? They're actually still up. Well, at the moment, it's at Be Right Back. But they are up at the moment. Raven from BB19 was a true puppet master. My two favorite people right now in this chat, Ethan and Robert, the two of you. I don't know what's up with you guys right now, but you're killing me. You're killing me with these comments. Absolutely killing me. Hilarious. You could do live ones. I could, Sam, and I probably should. I probably should do some live ones, maybe early in the mornings. That's usually the best time to do them because that's when like everybody's finally sleeping and the gameplay has stopped. Which team would you be on this season? I would have wanted to be on the Queens. I would have wanted to be on the Queens. That's the team I would have wanted. We can have a final three. Yes, Caden, you're in the final four. You're in the final four, Caden. Sam, Robert, Sam's in there too. I'm digging Sam. Ethan, Robert, Caden, me. That's the final five. Hello there. I want to bring you, but I know I have to cut you sooner than later. Yeah. Right now, actually, Derek X and Kyland are having a conversation. Trying to see what they're saying, but they're whispering. Also, Sarah Beth is talking to Xavier. Tiffany is so excited that DX won. Claire's excited. They're all jumping around and dancing. Tonight's feeds are probably going to be interesting. An alliance is forming. Oh no, hello there, what HOH? We're in trouble. We're in trouble. If any of you are gonna aspiring rappers, please refrain from joining our alliance. Yeah, no rapping in our alliance. That's not a thing. There were two questions earlier I never really got to. I wanted to get back to. The first one would be, it was if I could be on any season of Big Brother, right? Any season of Big Brother, like put myself into the house. What season would it have been? And that is a really good question, right? Because like, do I go in there just thinking of like how it went and how I could have won, or just the characters that were involved in it? And I think if I had to pick one, simply because of some of the like just most iconic things in BB, it might be BB10. It might be BB10 because I wish I was there for Anybody Want Small Cake. Like I wish I was there for that. That would maybe have been my choice. I don't know. BB13 says Sam that, oh yeah, you know what? That was a wild one. That was a wild one too. Because that was the second season for Jeff and Jordan and Brendan and Rachel. That was a wild one. I'd want to be in BB6. Ooh, BB6. Ethan, that's a good answer. That's a good answer. Janelle and Kaser's first seasons. Ooh, that's a good answer. Easton would want to be on the Queens. Robert would do BB21, but truly BB18. 18 would have been a fun one too. Because you know what? If I was on BB18, I would want to work with Frank. I would have want to work with Frank really hard. I think Frank was a loyal player, and I think he was a good player. I really would have wanted to work with him. And who was the other one that he was close with? It was what was her name? The short girl with dark hair. What was her name that Frank worked with? Oh man, I'm blanking on it. But the two of them, I would have want to work with them. Yes, Ethan, Keisha's birthday. Exactly. Bridget. Yes, Bridget. I would have wanted to work with the two of them. Absolutely. Robert tossed out all of the Jackson watermelon. Sam, BB8. Oh, that would have been a crazy one. That would have been a crazy one. Does he eat melon in the alternate? Yeah, does he even eat melon in the alternate universe? Who knows? Sam, me and you would be final two. All right, I dig it. I dig it. Actually, BB22, because I'd be in there because the biggest all-star, because I'd like to smash. Hey, now, you're an all-star. Why was Frank brought back? I really liked Frank. Frank in BB14 was a lot of fun. He was a comp beast. And again, he was very loyal. He was a very loyal player. So that's why he was brought back for 18. And I would have wanted to work with him really bad. I'd want to be in BB12. Says, yeah, BB12 was good one too. That was Rachel's first season. To see the Rachel and the Reagan fight live, that would have been really good. That would have been really good. But listen, guys, we've been live now for almost 3 hours. We saw the entire HOH competition. We saw the live episode. You guys have been awesome. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Once again, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like the live stream, hit that like button. Also, you can follow me over on Twitch. I do some gaming streams over there, and it's a good old time. You could also follow me over on Twitter. It's probably the best way to keep up with everything that's going on, whether it's here on YouTube, over on Twitch. Probably the best way to keep up with everything that I'm putting out there. Let's see. Before we go, let's catch up real quick. I'm in love with Rachel. Rachel Swindler and Caitlin are my favorite house guests. Those are pretty good ones. Apparently James was supposed to be at the boxing, but Natalie, oh, I did not know that, Sam. That's a thing. Yeah, she's a big part of the boxing. I think she's one of the hosts of the day. BB4 with June's. Oh, Riley, that's a good answer. Enjoyed it, says hello there. Dr. Will. Yes, Dr. Will does. Yeah, the whole boogie thing. That was a thing. Have a good night, Final. Yes. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you all for joining me. We had a very, very successful stream. Thank you all for the support. I appreciate it. I will see you all in future streams. We do these pretty much every Thursday. We do the live eviction episodes. We do updates with what's been going on the live feeds over on Twitch. I do a lot of gaming, and I want to get back into some of actual edited videos. I did a couple of them. I did one on hidden rooms. I did one on kind of perfect games in Big Brother. So I want to get back into doing some of those as well. Maybe kind of a review of this season so far. I want to see Dan's Dan's funeral, right? All the seasons have great history. All the seasons. But once again, thank you all for joining me. I really, really appreciate it. All of our new subscribers, welcome on into the family. And I will see you all next time.